just south of the ruined town, city, graveyard of Calais. It's supposed to be midsummer. You hear that the temperatures around here should be getting to 22 degrees maybe, but all season, you don't think you've ever felt it get warmer than 18 Celsius? It's a bit chillier than that now. Rains and skies are supposed to be clear. It's never supposed to rain, but well, it does. It's not raining today, but it rains more than it should. You are part of or associated with the 6th Mechanized Infantry Division. It started the war with about 11,000 men. You're not sure how many people are left now, but you know it's a lot less than 1,000. Not long ago, there was the last, well, you think last, great NATO offensive. It started in Germany. That's how far the Russians had gotten in the last attack. You began a bold attack with President West's last under-equipped, under-trained, underfed conscripts. But darn did you have a lot of them. You kept going, you kept going, you kept going. You got all the way almost to the Russian border. They lost the fight. Except suddenly, from nowhere, the Russians managed to get up properly fueled tanks. They had artillery. You hadn't seen fire in years. You swear somewhere in a place that you never saw, but you could hear helicopters. Things of the past from long ago. The aviation fuel's all supposed to have gone. The consequences were inevitable. You started getting driven back. You were supposed to hold the city of Lodz. That didn't happen. You get driven back. HQ got set up in Calais. You were never supposed to fall back beyond there. But the Russians kept coming. And, well, you don't know what happened to the men in Calais, but you heard a lot of fighting. You are located a little to the south, in a dugout, hastily constructed, with your cobbled-together teammates and a civilian pickup you looted from an abandoned garage down the road a long time ago. Your mission was to guard against Russian flanking attacks and Russian forces coming from the south. But you're not sure who's giving you the orders anymore after the guns fell silent. You've all seen friends and comrades die. Even the people who've only been here a couple of weeks have seen that. You've survived starvation. You've survived the deep, deep winter that just passed, that you swore was the start of the eternal nuclear winter that was supposed to doom the world. You survived the outbreaks of plagues and diseases that you thought had been consigned to the history books along with the medieval era, but they're back. Right now, you are huddled in this semi-defeated state, wondering what's going to happen next in your dugout. Starting with Lucius Wolf, our strange German Commodore. Please introduce us to your character, how they appear, and their state of mind, the thoughts going through their head in this desperate scenario.
He was supposed to be trying to relay information from the front lines to the fleet. He doesn't know if his own fleet, his own submarines are alive or dead. And he's stands just over 6 foot. Dark hair, blue, black, dark hair, blue eyes, and he's been more wanting to send just back over his submarines.
It's such a shame. It would have been so much easier if the radios were still working, but the limited nuclear strikes that were levied against various formations back when dense troop formations were still a thing, and also the strategic nuclear strikes that have occurred further behind to cities and homes that, well, you don't know if they still exist. News from home stopped months ago. It would have been easier if the radios were still working, but the EMPs from those various blasts knocked out almost every radio that you are aware of. And yes, contact with the fleet is long since gone. You're going to have to try and fix that somehow, if there's still a fleet at all. Brandon Dalton, how's your character? How's Brandon dealing with the defeats that have been dealt to the 6th Mechanized Infantry? And introduce ourselves to your character.
He's 34 years of age, a lifelong well, not lifelong. He did a couple of years in college, got himself an associate's in communications. Found it difficult to find work in the communications sector, so he joined the military. Had to get money to pay back his college loans. Unit's been decimated. His platoon, he was a platoon leader, platoon sergeant, scattered, lost, presumed dead. The only other person that he recognizes from the unit would be Ephraim Gavriel, and only recognized him because of the unit patches are the same. Did not know him personally. He's handling it a little hard. He doesn't have a family to go home to, but he's disturbed at the state of the world now. A little concerned that world order is going to be significantly changed, and would like to see it put back together and it's as best as possible. And so his goal now is to, spread democracy or civil world order as best he can, or facilitate as best as he can.
Still believes in a little bit of truth, justice, and the American way.
Well, not so much the American way anymore, because I'm not sure there is an America, but at least truth and justice at a minimum.
Noble ideals. Hopefully they will survive the beginning of the end of the world. Ephraim Gavriel, introduce us to Ephraim and his response to this sudden and severe reverse that has been dealt to the NATO forces by the Russians.
Sergeant Ephraim Gavriel is from the southern midwestern part of America. He was in the military before, so the phrase "just when you think you're out, they bring you back in" kind of applies to him. He thought he was out. He was a detective. He was living his best life, and then the bombs dropped. And when the draft happened, he was mad. He did not want to go. He didn't want to be a sergeant again. He wanted to keep doing his brand of justice, which may or may not have always been above the law. But now that he's out here, he's been with the 6th Mechanized for a little bit of time now, and he's starting to succumb to the more of the mental, I think, aspects of war and the apocalypse rather than the physical. He is starting to feel a bit hopeless. He's starting to feel like there's nothing really worth fighting for anymore, and he's always, if you've ever seen Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson's character, that crazy, he's just on the edge of crazy. He's just on the edge of about to just lose it completely and show everyone just how he really feels. But he keeps it in check. And now he's huddled in this bunker, in this hole, basically, with his rifle, and he's basically just waiting for a reason. Honestly, and you guys would have probably heard him mentioning it here and there as a joke, but he's just looking for a reason to kind of split away and do his own thing away from the 6th Mechanized Infantry. And so he's got dark brownish red hair. He's got a full brownish red beard. You would also notice, probably depending on how long you've been around him, Every once in a while, he develops a red rash around his neck. You're not really sure what that is. He says it's fine, but you're not really sure. And his antisocial and anger issues are not at all secret. He is very much here because he has no choice, and it comes out a lot that way, and is in the way he deals with individuals. So, yeah, that's pretty much where he's at.
A hardened, slightly antisocial man, driven near the edge, ready to give it all up, seemingly go his own way, and lets the darker internal drives that might be tugging at the edge of his mind out. You've seen already a great many people succumb to those kinds of urges already, whether it be overly cruel soldiers, bandits, civilians who turn on everyone. You've never quite seen how that turns out. And turning, I believe that Draco Sobislaw is now with us as well.
Yeah,
how
finally.
is Draco as he sits on the cold, hard ground of this dugout, grateful to have MREs, which is something that nobody should ever be. How is he coping with this reversal of fortune and the negative elements of the war? And introduce us to your character.
Well, clutching with his one arm with the knee to his chest. Lieutenant Sobislaw, well, he's fucking terrified. Even if he appears rather deadpanedly, but the widened 1,000-yard stare just gives it all off. He's terrified. Much like anyone else, to some degree. It's this human condition of having the very aspect of life or death being so clearly out there, even when one has barely survived practically a nuclear holocaust. So, Sobislaw seems more like a platinum blonde type of chap, with a rather piercingly gray gaze whenever he actually looks around towards others, yet his eyes seem to be more focused on fiddling with one of the bullets that fits so perfectly with his hold on, give me a second. With his L9A1DS.
Well, fear is a
Birmingham
very...
kid?
Oh, sorry, I spoke over you there.
He's a Birmingham kid. So, not really from a pretty high up class, though. He managed somehow, after getting rather educated, managed to serve in the military. However, the problem is, he joined up at the worst possible moment, when all hell began to break loose. One thing led to another, and he's here. With one knee clutched to his chest, trying to hope to whatever might be a god to not to lose everything, be it from humanity or just lives at this point.
Well, fear and desperation and a blind hope in some kind of god are not uncommon things in this apocalypse. They are honest responses that many people try to hide, but that you've also seen several people express. All sorts of people have found faith that they perhaps lacked during the good times in the supernatural and the spiritual, whether that be out of genuine, heartfelt belief, desperation, or a combination of the two. It scarcely matters. And the fear, you see that everywhere, even in the people who try to hide it. Dr. Megan Rostagam, one of your number, is currently out of the dugout, searching for food. You actually have rations, a decent number of them, but you know it's always a good idea to try and forage first and only eat the rations when you have to, because you might never get a decent MRE again. It's a miracle that you've got any at all. The logistics train broke down months ago. You're surprised anything works anymore. Your little dugout, your vehicle, you're unfortunate in that you don't have a radio. But whilst it's unfortunate, it's not uncommon by any means. A lot of communication's done in person now. And so you have no real way of getting information from the outside world unless it's brought to you or unless you go seeking it.
The Commodore has a man-pack radio.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Are you constantly scanning for messages? Do you have it just sat and turned on? And okay. All right. Well, is there anything in particular that you would want to do in this moment before events take over as they will?
He's probably going to check any frequency that any NATO forces are on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
so you're there.
If you don't mind, sorry. I do have a specialty in computers, and I know it's not exactly a computer, but being electronic, maybe it would help if I could. If I'm not directly engaging an enemy, or if I'm not directly, looking, at the perimeter to make sure nobody is, coming upon us, I would like to assist the Commodore, kind of assist, but in my kind of. What state did I say? Oh yeah, my character's from Tennessee, so in my kind of gruff Tennessean voice, I'll just kind of nudge the Commodore and be like, "You ain't got that thing working yet?"
Well, you raise an important question. We'll come to your role in a moment. But who, if anyone, is on watch?
I can be on watch. That's something that a sniper would traditionally do anyways.
Excellent. Well, in that case, you mentioned the computer specialism. There is actually a specialism of communications that goes more directly to radios, so that won't help you. But you can still do a tech roll, an unmodified flat tech roll, to see if you can assist. And yes, the Commodore, you can do a tech roll as well if you want to assist the Commodore. Hang on.
You want to know something funny?
Yep.
Because of how my character sheet developed, I have the computer specialty, which gives a +1 modifier to tech rolls, but I have 0 dice for tech. So does that bring it up to a D, or how does that work? That would bring it up from a 0 to
if
a
D.
If
it was a computer, it would bring it from a 0 to a D6.
Gotcha. Okay.
But since it's not a computer,
Right.
it sits at a 0.
Okay.
And I do have a tech level of D already, so.
I have a tech level of B, but what is the Commodore trying to do?
Essentially
He's
scanning
scanning.
radio frequencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not a particularly difficult thing. Our sniper Buzz cannot assist in this because he is keeping his eyes on the horizon.
Right.
So after a while, Commodore, you're there. And you're going, no, nothing. You turn to a frequency that you heard something on yesterday. It's just dead static. More dead static. Turn to another one. No. And then eventually you go through, and almost just out of routine, you just check the designated frequency for communications of a relatively senior level in the 6th Mechanized Infantry Division. And you hear something. You hear something that is deeply concerning to you. As you go, you hear, "This is the commanding officer of the 6th Mechanized Infantry Division. This would normally be passed through the radio net, through various chains of command, what is left of it, but it is important that I bring this message to you all personally. If you're aware of any nearby units that do not have a radio, after I have finished this communication, I ask, as a final act, that you seek them out and pass on this message. Our unit has taken 95% casualties. We have no more supplies. No logistics is coming to help us. We are out of fuel. We are out of ammunition. There is no point in surrendering to the enemy, but there is no place that they can take prisoners. We are unable to move. We cannot travel west, we cannot travel east, or north, or south. There is nothing that I or any of the staff here can do to assist you. And it is with great regret that I must inform you that my efforts to obtain assistance from further up the chain of command have resulted in either silence or, if I am lucky, non-committal replies. But even those seem to be petering out. There has been no news from the United States for months. I must therefore give you this, my final instruction. Survive, 6th Mechanized Infantry Division. With this broadcast, I hereby disband the division. You are on your own. Out. And the message goes dead. What is the reaction in the bunker to this devastating news?
Is this? I'm assuming everyone can hear this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So yeah, I after I had made my little jab to the Commodore to kind of hurry up with his German technology or whatever, and then I kind of briefly turned back to scan the horizon to see if there's anybody making their way, kind of helping Sorrel in his Overwatch, and then when that broadcasts, I just stop dead, and I slowly start to lower my rifle down to my side, down to in front of me, and it has a strap. So eventually, by the end of it, my hands are at my sides. The rifle's just draped around my shoulders, and I just let out a long sigh, and just start slowly walking. Or is this the kind of dugout that you can walk in, or is it basically like we're just huddled in a fetal position?
It's big enough that you can walk around. It's sort of a big one room. You've probably also set up like a little area inside it that you sleep in. That would mean that if there were a blast outside, it would immediately get you all because it's just one room.
Right.
So it's one big room and then one small little room that you can huddle in to sleep.
So does it look like what's on the Roll20 picture?
I will bring you to what I set up for this. Hang on.
Okay. Because basically what he wants to do, what I want him to do is just kind of stare out a nearby window absently and just not even care really if someone out there shoots him and just see what happens.
Yeah.
And that's his reaction.
I'll bring you to the map. Small dugout. I haven't placed. I'll place your tokens in the dugout where you will be. So the little room isn't pictured here, but it's very much a sort of improvised little thing. Let's move it around. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that you're in.
Which direction did we come up from when we were running from the Russians?
So when you were running from the Russians, you came from the north.
Okay,
You
so we have to go south.
Yeah, you are aware, however, that last contact, there were friendly units to your north. You're not the closest unit to the Russians in the north.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'll turn to Buzz now. Does Buzz have any particular reaction to that news, or does he remain stoically silent?
Well, he's he furrows his brow a little bit. He's a little frustrated. At this point, he's looking toward Gabriel, and he's a little concerned that he's on the edge of breaking, and he offers him some words of encouragement, tries to, NCO to NCO and to a subordinate soldier, tries to be the calming influence on the troops, so to speak, like any good NCO would be. At the same time, he's still trying to maintain watch. I mean, you can't break security on the account of the bad news, but he is a little discouraged, and he's mostly concerned for the group, the mental state of the group. As the senior NCO in the group right now, Lieutenant's young, on the verge of losing it. The sergeant didn't want to be here to begin with. He's on the verge of mental breakdown. Of course, I don't know what state our combat medic's in, but I don't know the Commodore well. I know it's a naval officer, and I'm a little concerned about what the land tactic capability of our Commodore is. So I've got all these things that I'm trying to piece together, and I'm at the same time I'm trying to maintain watch, but I'm a little discouraged, a little disheartened to hear the news over the radio. But I'm ready to do what I can to move the mission forward and look out for my team.
Since you're remaining on watch, please give me a recon roll, unmodified.
Recon roll unmodified.
You see Gavriel be shot from a Russian outside.
Oh, okay. All right. That will be important, but I'll just turn to the other characters for a moment. So do Lucius Wolf or Draco Sobislaw have any particular reaction to that disbandment of the division?
I wasn't really part of the division in the first place. I was only here to get support for act as a relay between the Navy and the Army, so he's like, that's kind of a bummer that we don't have a front line.
You
And
were
then-
the front. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on the front. We were the front lines.
There's no more lines anymore. And at that, I draw my rifle back up, and I turn to face everybody, and I say, and by the way, how long have we been a quote-unquote unit together, like this group of four? How long have we been working together?
I'd say probably about, let's say, the members of the two of you who are members of the Sixth Mech have been together for probably like 2 years. Your British associate Sobislaw probably joined you about 2 months ago, and the Commodore probably a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, so yeah, I turn to them, and I would probably look to Dalton first, and say, I'm sorry, but there is no more war. This isn't Russia versus America or NATO anymore. This is do every man for himself, and that's what I intend to do. And I don't say anything after that. I just kind of, I let them talk or whatever, but I turn, kind of lean against the door or lean against the wall, staring out the window, rifle at the low ready, so if someone does happen to pop up like a fucking weasel, I can take aim and fire, but like I'm not super concerned about it.
Yep. Well,
He's like,
carry on.
He's like, if he wants to disband the 6th Fleet, 6th Battalion, he can go ahead. Well, regardless, wherever the Russians have been getting this technology, they're gonna keep on going forward, regardless. We might as well put up one heck of a fight.
I, for one, plan on getting out of this country. I don't plan on fighting until I'm dead. That just don't make any sense, Commodore, with all due respect.
You can walk out the front door and leave if you want.
Dalton at that point would interject and remind the sergeant that as his superior NCO, he expects him to honor his commitment and to help the team, at least all of us, get out alive instead of
There's
just
just
thinking
one-
about himself.
So Sobislaw, with a raise of his hand, actually interjected. The problem is, the American sniper does have a point. Hold on. Dalton, was it? Yes. Because the thing is, it would be better for all of us to get it out alive instead of just only one running out and letting fate itself just see whether or not you end up getting gunned down by either a psychotic madman who thought that chaos, that the whole thing going into complete chaos would just give them all free reign to do whatever the hell they want. So, how about we just stick together, find a way out of here, and not get ourselves killed or end up like these barbarians?
You are right. We are better off together, but that doesn't mean. And he's going to turn and give Dalton eyes when, as he says this, he said that doesn't mean our military discipline means anything anymore.
No, but it's that discipline that's going to get us out alive. We may not have a superior chain of command anymore, but our training and our discipline and focus on the mission is not only going to get you and I out alive, but it's also going to get the rest of our team out alive.
It's at this juncture. Oh, no, please carry on.
No.
Okay. It's at this juncture that Brandon, who has been very vigilantly keeping watch, sees a humanoid figure moving a little way off to the north. Single person. Somebody who is less eagle-eyed at this distance wouldn't really be able to tell who or what it is, but with your astounding number of successes, you are able to make out the telltale hints of a US infantryman on his own approaching you from the north. The way he seems to be moving, he's moving from cover to cover, but the cover that he's choosing is cover that will protect him from the east, not from the south. As he's moving south toward you, like he knows where you are.
I think I would, until he's, in range to actually announce himself, I would cover him and watch his approach, as well as directing my attention in the direction that he's kind of protecting himself from, just as a precaution. But I would be cautious about him approaching, because I don't know if the enemy has stripped one of our dead and is now trying to infiltrate. So I would cover him until he's close enough to identify himself.
Okay. He'll get to about here, where he'll hunker down in cover as best he can, but again, it's cover from the east. And he'll call out something to the effect of sure link cycle. Now, to the best of your knowledge, that was the sort of passphrase for the call and respond.
Code word of the day, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But the code word of the day is not something that's been regularly upkept. That, again, has broken down. He appears to be doing the best he can with old information.
Would we have a passphrase book?
You may, yes, but again, these things have not been regularly updated. But yeah, you've got two officers here. You'll have a passphrase book.
So the first thing I would wonder is if that passphrase is actually in the code book, or if he's just blurting out words hoping to win the lottery, so to speak.
My character will be looking through the passphrase book.
And do we
immediately?
Do we all hear this, or is it just?
Yeah, he calls it out loud and clear.
So yeah, I will then put my weapon at him, but I'm not gonna, fire at him or anything. I'll just make sure that. Do we see a rifle on him, or?
Yeah, he's definitely carrying a weapon.
Okay.
He's got it out, but not aimed.
Gotcha.
And yeah, he as you're flipping through the code book, you realize that he's using the most recent code book, but it seems like he's slightly confused about where you are in the cycle of codes. So he's slightly out of sync, but he's using the most recent code book you've got.
Can I, by using my telescopic sight, can I tell what rank this person is?
Yes, you absolutely can. looking at him closely, you can see, a notable absence of rank badges, and therefore you must assume he is a private.
So that could account for his not knowing how to use the codebook adequately.
Yeah. My character will say he's it is the most recent, but he's out of sync.
Perhaps mind if I? Is it alright if I have the code book for a moment?
You can have a look.
Right. Thank you, Commodore. So,
Uh,
is it possible I could try to triangulate the out of sync code words that the private is speaking out and try to compare what he's saying to what could be found on the code book?
Yeah, you do that. You work out that he's essentially 3 days out of date, like out of cycle, and you know what the appropriate response would be to that day if you were to essentially act as though it were 3 days ago.
okay. Would my character know?
Yeah, you can read the code book. You can work that out.
We can both.
Yeah. I read it and then I shout back the response.
Okay. You, Brandon, through your telescopic sight, will essentially be able to see him like silently mutter an angry curse word to himself, and he reaches into. He's got his grip on his rifle with one hand, but he sort of reaches in with the other, and he pulls out a really tattered, manky piece of paper, and he unfolds it, and he looks through it, and he then seems to count off of his fingers.
Can I just yell? Oh, well, I guess I wouldn't know. I was going to say, can I just yell he's
Yeah.
out of date, but no, I think only the officers would know that.
Yeah. Well, he seems to work it out as he then eventually calls back the appropriate phase for the day, because you've given him a response he wasn't expecting, but he's worked out he fucked up. And he then calls out what would be the appropriate phrase. The code book itself is old, as in it's been around for a while, but it's the most recent one anyone seems to have.
I'd alert the Commodore that I'm still a little suspicious, and that I would keep him covered until he was close enough to have formal conversation with. Even if he's given a good passphrase, that doesn't mean he's not an infiltrator. So
Yeah.
Or it's gone completely rogue.
right, yeah, you might be going rogue too. That's too. So
Yeah.
I'd still be on alert. I'd still keep him covered. If the Commodore and the Lieutenant want to have him advance until we can find out what his deal is, I would still be cautiously keeping a close eye on him and having my weapon ready to respond to an unanticipated outburst of violence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll let him come forward.
Excellent. So he'll come forward slowly, but again he's moving in spurts as though he's dashing from cover to cover, but it's always cover from the east, not from you guys. Until he'll keep approaching where he thinks, because your dugout's somewhat concealed in bushes and shrub and so forth, but where towards the back of your dugout where he thinks the entrance is, and he will keep doing that until told to stop.
I'll let him fall in.
Hold on.
I think we ought to
Okay.
hold him. I think we need to hold him outside the dugout until we ask him a few questions, like what unit was he with? How did he know where we were? Mm-hmm. What's he hiding from? Let's get some idea what his deal is, so to speak. What's going on with him.
How about
I'm still a little concerned.
How about Commodore and Sniper kind of stay further back in the dugout with your weapons, and me and the Lieutenant will check him and kind of frisk him, make sure he doesn't have a grenade strapped to him or something, and then the Lieutenant or the Commodore can question him as we're doing that.
All right. If that's the case, then I would still be on guard against whatever it is he's worried about coming from the east.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep.
If I didn't think of that, I forgot about that. So yeah, if Sorrel, if you want to do Overwatch towards the east, and then me and the lieutenant will
Work the security
risk-
aspect.
Yeah, and then the Commodore
We'll
can interrogate. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's what I do.
All right. So do we have to roll for that? I assume.
Yeah. So as you come out, he starts with he sort of like glancing at your arm and saying, Sarge. And then he sees a lieutenant behind that. He kind of has a pause because it's British insignia he's looking at, and his brain is going tick, 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 translating. But
I've done that before. Trust me.
And then imagine how his brain's going to react when he sees a fucking Commodore as well.
a German
Yeah.
Commodore. So it has to go foreign and navy.
Yeah.
But he's going tick tick tick, working out British insignia. But after a few moments, he sort of realizes what's going on, straightens up, and says, sir." He's not quite sure what rank you are, but he knows you're an officer. And then arm down. Sergeant, he looks over him. He appears visibly shaken. He is pale. You don't know if that's because he's sick or worried or whatever. He appears to be reasonably well equipped. He's about as well equipped as you are, so there are vital pieces of kit he's missing. But yeah, he has a flak jacket. That's rare. You're lucky you've all got them.
Yeah.
His webbing appears to be about half full, which is roughly what yours is. And he'll say, "Did you hear the news?"
We heard the news. Drop your weapon. We have to check you and make sure you're not a spy or a traitor.
Oh, okay. He'll gently lay it on the ground, and then if you give me an unmodified, let's see, what will it be? An unmodified recon roll.
Alright, recon, got it.
Mine's a D, so it's not that great. I'll just be, uh-oh. My gilded's acting crazy.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
wow.
Is that a
I
good
have
wow?
no experience in recon, but I got
Wow.
something hopefully good.
And thank you for changing your middle name. Alright. But now, by the way, last session 0, Mac got a lucky shot from a long distance with a pistol, so I'm calling Mac's character Lucky from now on. Alright, so...
That's how you earn nicknames.
So,
Okay.
that's a critical success, right?
Yeah. So with that sheer number of successes, you sort of pat him down, and as you're doing it, you find equipment that you'd expect, a little bit of food, a water canteen, etc., etc. He has laid down his rifle, but in your pat down, you find a knife and a single fragmentation grenade. They are exactly like where you'd expect them to be.
Okay.
Frag grenade. Potential knife.
Well, looks like so far you're on the up and up. Lieutenant, if you want to question him. Or Commodore, whoever. I'll be the shooter if need be.
At the present time, he hasn't seen the Commodore yet.
No, the Commodore's like round the corner, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks to the lieutenant and says, "Lieutenant, I've been sent by the dugout to the north, the next one in the chain.
What's your unit?
With 6th Mechanized Infantry Division.
What's your name and serial number?
Robert Crispin. Serial number, appropriate serial number. I don't know US serial numbers.
They tend to be Social Security numbers.
Yeah, just Social
Yeah,
Security.
literally just
Oh, okay.
he just fucking doxes himself.
JS 9874U. I don't know, but it's appropriate. It scans. It's not a nonsense number. It's something that you'd expect to hear.
All right,
he says,
continue with
I
your
was-
explanation.
Yeah.
part of a reservist battalion before the war, and he kind of like looks sideways a little bit at that as though he's like slightly afraid of giving the wrong answer, but you're not entirely sure why. So, but yeah, I came from the dugout to the north, sir. We've heard the news, and I know the divisional commander said that we're on our own, but we're not. We're still NATO. We're still together. We're still in one piece. You're still in one piece.
Are you telling us your unit in the dugout in the north is still together?
It's like yours, at least what I think yours
So
is.
why did you leave?
I was sent here by the sergeant. He doesn't want to leave you behind. He wants to help. He knows you're down here. He
Where's the enemy located?
To our north and to our east, as best as we know.
Right.
We know there's at least one other dugout further north of us, between us and Calais, but we don't know what the Russians are doing. He sent me to come and find you, and say that we're going to try and sneak over the river before the Russians like get a good hold on things.
Out of character, is the river to the north, east, west, or south?
So there is a river to your immediate west.
Okay.
However, there is not a river crossing to your immediate west that you are aware of.
It's just a river.
There are bridges further north, just outside Calais, and bridges quite a long way further south.
Okay. So you're telling me your sergeant sent you by yourself to find another squad to the south so that we can go back up north and then cross further north where the enemy is on the bridges. That's what you're telling me?
Well, that's his plan, but if you've got an alternative suggestion, and he looks like Lieutenant, I know he'd be I know he'd be willing to hear it. We've got a couple of people. We've got an M113. You know, we think we can make it. There's not much, you know, that can stop. And if we can get further north, further south, ideally north, that'd be quicker. We might be able to link up with some of our NATO people that we think are across the river and start heading west. That was the plan anyway, Lieutenant.
I just look over to the lieutenant, like waiting to see what he says.
All right, I believe we'll have to consider the option with the rest of our.
I'll let you guys.
Just like nods.
I tell the lieutenant, I was like, I'll let you go back in there and handle the diplomacy. I'll keep watch on this guy.
He turned over, Commodore.
He walks around the corner and goes, "Yes."
Shit, I forgot how to tell all of that information that was picked up. Fuck.
We could just say that he. I mean, you were around the corner. You could have just overheard it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is your opinion on this whole matter?
If we can regroup and fall back, we can probably make an offensive eventually.
At that, I just turn slowly and give you a look like, "Are you shitting me?" And actually, he says, "Sir, with all due respect, I think we should go south and just keep going south and possibly even west until we are no longer in this country."
I think Buzz would pipe up at this point and kind of say that more numbers and safety in numbers, and we probably at least ought to have a face-to-face with this sergeant and find out what his plan is and see what his force strength is, and maybe try to build a force out of consolidating our units from not only these two dugouts, but maybe the one that's further north of us.
Yeah.
Not to mention.
It isn't like my country is going to be affected first, and
Then my home's probably going to be the next one, alongside with some.
Yeah. So,
You two are more lucky because you live in a bloody giant continent surrounded by 2 oceans, for crying out loud.
Who are
Yeah.
you talking about?
You 2 Americans.
Oh, good point. He doesn't say anything. But question for
No.
the GM: what kind of weapon did he bring? An M4 like mine, I assume.
M16A2.
Okay.
Standard battle rifle.
I'll just pick it up. Well, I'll actually just turn to the lieutenant and say, "Does you or the Commodore want that? I'm sure you'll need it at a sooner capacity than he will, since we don't trust him yet."
Private Crispin looks horrified at what you're doing, but does not attempt to stop you.
he goes,
Until we get further confirmation and actually a meeting with this sergeant, it would seem rather safe to try to keep a further eye out.
If that other dugout has a radio, why didn't they just contact us by radio?
I turn and glare
how
at
did
him.
they hear-
Yeah, that's a good question.
How'd they hear the message, and why would they send a runner instead of just trying to contact the dugout?
Yeah.
And why not 2 runners? Why just 1? Or why not the entire squad? Why didn't they come? I mean, it would have been safer than going north.
he points. He'll show his him main radio going. Why didn't they contact us?
He goes, he's trying to remember all those questions, and he's getting himself ready to give the answers. He's clearly unnerved, particularly since you've started taking this aggressive line. It's easy to tell that he's a little afraid at the line that you've just taken. And he'll say, okay, the sergeant didn't want to come south because he didn't want to move the vehicle up and down, up and down, up and down, because he doesn't think the Russians know quite where we are yet, and that would make it easier.
And what about the
to find
radio?
us. I don't know why he didn't use the radio. I know he doesn't like using it. He tries to use it as little as he can. Something about like getting found. I think, I don't know. He doesn't explain everything to me, and he only sent me because there's not many of us. We're intact, but we're just a squad.
Okay, we might as well go and see this sergeant.
Fair enough, sir.
I mean, his responses make sense to me. I mean, operational security, you wouldn't want to be on the radio constantly because listening
be
posts could pick it
intercepted
up
by
and
the Russians.
triangulate on you.
It would also
Say that again?
potentially be it would also be intercepted by the Russians as well.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, a listening post, an enemy listening post could triangulate your position based on your emissions of your radio and could drop artillery on you at any time. Because all I have to do is carpet artillery an area. So, yeah, I think his answers sound reasonable, and I say to the Commodore that I think we need to talk to this other group, find out what their plan is, and see if we should combine forces.
Yeah. Let's get ready to move out.
I can guide you. I know the way. And he'll start to move off and sort of like look over his shoulder to make sure that you're all following.
Who's taking his weapons? He's got a grenade, knife, and a rifle. I already got a knife and a rifle.
I'll take the grenade.
Okay. You can put an extra frag grenade in there. As you're doing that, he will say, "Is that necessary? If people come, I'm going to need those."
If we meet your squad and they check out, you'll get them back.
Okay. All right.
So I have an out-of-character question real quick. Where is our vehicle right now?
So the vehicle is as close as you want it to be, concealed in shrubs, camo netting, that kind of thing. So it can easily be on map. And that does actually bring me to a question that I was going to ask, which is, are you going to walk there or drive there or some combination of both with some on foot, some driving?
Well, that leads to my next question is how far away is this next dugout?
Okay. It is sufficiently close that it's all in the same like overworld 10-kilometer hex. You're not going to need to do long distance driving. It's probably Probably less than a kilometer away.
I mean, this kid would know, right? How far?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, he
so-
kind of pauses,
How far is
and he works.
dugout?
Sorry, you were saying.
How far is the dugout?
Okay, he pauses, and it looks like he's doing math, and he says about a kilometer. I think I don't actually know the distance. I'm just working it out from how long it took me to get here. I think about maybe a kilometer.
So in your terms, 0.6 miles, correct?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Well, I think we should take the vehicle and we should all go. If we split up or if we leave the vehicle, that just gives someone an opportunity to take it or destroy it. We might as well use it, and we'll be faster, but we'll also be better armored in case someone does try to attack us.
Indeed.
Okay.
You just see the Commodore just sit in the passenger seat.
All right, I pushed the soldier.
Drive me, chauffeur.
I pushed the soldier towards the bed of the vehicle. That way, if someone does start shooting at us and he is a traitor, he can get hit first.
You can squeeze. Yep. Yeah, it's a real squeeze with all of you, and the kit that you've got loaded in there. I mean, that's where your food is, your water is, etc. But you can just about all fit. And
We'll put him on the roof if we got to.
And you start driving north. You're staying off-road, you're staying off-track. It's slow, it's bumpy, but because it's a short distance, nothing happens. Your vehicle doesn't immediately break down or anything along those lines. You can all do this. Usually it's only the best person who does it or the person who's on watch, but because we're in a slightly unusual situation, you can all do this. You can make me a recon roll at -2.
So how do I?
Okay.
I'm still stupid when it comes to this stuff. How do I do that? Like I know how to click
Okay,
on the
so-
recon button, but I know
Recon,
that
yeah.
if it says
So-
-2, I have to do something different.
Yeah, so you would normally be at an A and a D. -2 would be a C and a D. So attribute
Okay.
C, skill D. And yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Absolutely everything is fine
Wow.
and normal.
Wow.
Yeah, we're
And
just going through
he-
a park. This is just a park, a day in the park. We're just taking a drive.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh,
Well,
there's one
who's
other person
driving?
who gets to roll.
Yeah, and there's a question I have. What time of day are we in right now? I don't think I caught that part earlier. Just
So,
morning?
yeah, it's late morning.
Not to mention,
So-
who's driving?
I'm pretty sure Wolf is got a driving skill, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
he'll
I-
probably be in the driver's seat.
I rolled off the wrong stat sheet. My immense apologies. Brandon almost saved you all, but I rolled off of your stat sheet, not the NPC.
Wow.
All right, let's try that again. Oh, I'm glad I sent Robert Crispin.
Why is he like a recon officer or a recon soldier or something?
Yeah, he is.
Nice. I guess that's why he would have been sent.
Hey!
Wow.
Because he's normally yeah. Okay, so as you're going along, dun, 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 none of you hear or see anything until you hear a slapping on the roof, bang, 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 from Robert Crispin as he's trying to get your attention from like back in the bed. He's slamming on the cab.
All right, we look
And
around.
he goes, stop.
What
Okay,
is it?
you
Yeah, he does.
Stop. You stop. And with that, the noise of the engine and the noise of everything going dum, 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 around as you drive around is lessened, but the engine is still ticking over. And then, now that he's drawn your attention to it, you can hear, off in the distance, but not too far,
Does sound
sounds like
mortars.
automatic fire, grenades, explosions and automatic weapon fire. Not a huge amount, but it's there.
I'd look to Crispin and say, was that going on when you left?
He shakes his head vigorously.
All right, turn around,
Does it-
Commodore.
Does it appear the rounds are being fired in our direction, or are they going somewhere else? I mean, can we
They are-
see on the horizon what's happening?
The woodland is a bit too dense. You can't see what's happening, but it doesn't appear as though the fire is approaching, and there's none of the sort of whistling noise or anything along those lines that suggests shots going near you.
All right. So I say we keep hightailing it to the other dugout, and
Yeah.
they're not firing at us. We should keep moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna keep going.
You see Gabriel just shake his head, but he doesn't say anything.
All right. As you keep on going, I'm now going to take you to another map. As you keep on going, you will come across the dugout that you are heading to. Hopefully you will see a dugout with 3 US troops in it. You should also see a token in a little dug-in location. You can put the truck in the bottom, I'll put it down here, but anywhere in the bottom, like 2 rungs of hexes. And it's once you get this close, you're still in the vehicle. The fire is loud, and you're now close enough that you can see that the fire appears to be aimed at the dugout. And there's some return fire coming from the dugout.
And is this automatic fire, or is this artillery as well?
Give me a flat recon roll.
One or all of us?
You can all do it. This is relatively
Okay,
obvious
cool.
now. Okay. All right. So there's plenty. Well, I say plenty. There's a decent amount of small arms fire, but at one point you hear a much louder bang. You can't immediately tell if it's artillery, a mortar, a rocket launcher, but it's a much bigger bang than the other noises that you're hearing. You can also see a small plume of black smoke rising from this little dug-in position here, but you can't see a huge amount more than the slight rise of black smoke.
Crispin, what is that? I ask him.
That's where the M113's dug in.
Well, it looks like it's not doing too well. It kind of gestures to the black smoke.
So are the enemy between us and the dugout? Are they in that dugout with the M113 shooting at the entrenched soldiers, or?
Okay. You and you alone. Give me a recon roll at -2.
-2. All right.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so I now have to do some fiddling. Okay, see if I can just move these.
I mean, I have a telescopic sight, so I would be trying to use that as like a pair of binoculars. I have a pair of binoculars too, but they're in my pack.
If you point the enemy out to my guy, I could tell you a bit more information.
Oh, there's some dudes popping up.
Yeah, if you zoom out, you may have noticed 3 Russian soldiers are now known to you after that recon roll. They are all facing toward and seemingly putting fire on the bunker. Or the dugout.
So we're basically off to one side of them, and they have not detected us despite the fact we're running around in a pickup truck.
There's a lot of noise. You can only assume it's down to that. And there's quite a bit of visual cover between you and them, but all it would take is one of them to turn around.
I say we flank them from behind and order them to surrender.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
My character would...
I think we ought to take them in, flank them from this direction and take them out one at a time going up the line.
Will you tell us about it or not?
Huh?
Okay. When he points it out, do I recognize the troops?
Okay, because you've got an intelligence score. Even though you didn't make the recon roll, I'll say you do. So what you can tell by looking at these people is that these are definitely Russian troops, but what they've got is standard equipment. This is notable because Most people don't have standard equipment anymore. These guys are properly equipped, and they do appear to have, as part of that, flak jackets, which only the most modern Russian troops have got.
Commodore,
But they don't appear to be anything funky like Spetsnaz or anything like that.
Commodore, if we force them to surrender, we'll be able to gather intelligence and figure out what's going on, and also have leverage in the future if we need prisoner exchange.
Yeah. Take 2 of them out and leave 1 alive.
I suggest one of us get in position, perhaps. So how does stealth work? Is that the recon, or is that a different?
Yeah, it's opposed recon rolls, modified
Okay.
by terrain.
And who has the highest recon? Is that the Commodore?
Yeah.
Basically, I stopped the engine, so you guys can get into position.
Yeah, because if
And
we...
I should point out that with recon, if you move as a group and they're spotting as a group, it's their best against your worst.
Right. My suggestion was to have, before anyone does anything, have the Commodore, who has the best stealth, goes straight, just right. Right. So that he can come up behind the last guy. Because he's got a... Did the Commodore take the M16, or does he still have the pistol?
He still has the pistol, and
Okay.
he has a knife, so...
Alright, so you could
basically,
come up behind him for the capture if we take out the other two. Because me and Sniper... And what kind of weapon does Nostra have again?
A pistol and several grenades.
Okay, so me... if you want to throw a grenade, we could do the Sniper, then the grenade, then my assault rifle, and then hopefully take the 2 of them out. The only thing I'm worried about is the grenade taking all of them out, but then that's better than us getting taken out. So,
I mean,
I still think we ought to take. I still think we ought to take them in a line, because it'll pin the other 2 guys from firing at us as we approach them at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, but once
because they'll have to shoot through their own position, which they may not want to do.
Once we do that,
Bang!
Once we do that, that
another
means
large explosion.
the others can't fire as well. We're basically screwing ourselves to help someone we don't know. That is like, I don't mean to be mean, that's really dumb.
He goes, if we might as well take him out in a 40-degree angle. It's much easier. They won't see us coming, and it's a lot quicker. And plus, we can take their gear as well.
Robert Crispin, the private, at this point, he's not like lurching for it. He's not trying to do it stealthily, but he is very obviously and like holding your attention, reaching for his M16 in a case of like, I need this.
Yeah, just give it to him.
Okay,
Stanislaw immediately just hands it over to the private.
Yeah.
Okay.
He goes, Lieutenant and Dalton. You can go and do the stealthing.
So can we lay out the mission, lay out the operation again? Because I think we're getting confused again. We have to know what we're doing in what order.
Okay, take out. Yeah.
Well,
we're going with Dalton's plan.
Okay, so we're gonna come up beside them, shoot at them, and then they're going to inevitably move so that they're facing us, which means the other team won't be able to shoot because we'll be in the way. Got it.
No, we're actually going in a 40-degree angle. Taking 1 by 1. That one, then that one.
Yeah, but that's not how they're...
Capture that one.
I mean, it might be because it's a game, so it might work that way. But in real life, they would just move to face us and then shoot us. Does that make sense?
We're stealthing up. That's the
right,
problem.
but as soon as we start shooting, they're going to move to... They're not going to continue shooting at a bunker that's further away. We are the threat at that point, not the bunker.
Basically, they're actually killing.
You hear yelling in Russian, and one of the figures starts approaching you.
Yeah,
he hasn't seen you, but he's moving around in this direction.
Trying to figure out what's going on, yeah. I'd say we just
we need to set up a fighting position right now.
Yep. So
yeah.
We should put your tokens on the map. Put them on the map. Have them next to the truck.
Say.
don't think this is gonna end like you think it is, but okay, we'll see how it goes.
Alright.
If you weren't too busy arguing with me, we would have been going through with the plan.
I mean, I was just giving my opinion, but okay.
Alright, I'm now going to deal cards to you all. I'm not dealing any cards to the enemy because I am saying that you have successfully achieved ambush, which means you just go first. But okay. Oh, Lieutenant Slavislaw already took a card somehow.
Remember, I
Okay.
get 2 cards.
You do. So I'm going to do...
It's my combat awareness.
Yep, 2 cards to Buzz Dalton. And then deal 1 card to Sergeant Gavriel and Commodore Wolf.
Where'd it go? I had it. Oh, there it is.
Okay, so does anybody have an ace?
I do.
Yes.
All right. Does anybody have the ace of spades?
Yeah.
You've got the ace of spades.
Is-
Okay. In that case,
That leaflet one.
Everybody's
yeah.
breaking up
That's-
to me.
that's clubs.
Clubs. I got a clubs instead.
All right. So it's going to go. Wolf. Or. Yeah. Anyone got a 2?
I had a
3.
3, but I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, I saw that 3. 3 for Dalton, which means that influence is at the bottom of the round. So you 4 all go first in the order of Werwolf, Commodore, Dalton, and hang on, Ephraim, in that order, and then the enemy will act. But because you achieved ambush, you get to go before all of them. So, yeah, go Werwolf, your initiative.
Oh, by the way, can you all
I'm
can
gonna-
you all have a character remind me about the plan involving myself real quick? I just
Yeah, stealth killing.
deal.
Just shoot, yeah.
Yeah.
So quickly, I'm like
So-
trying to get into cover.
Okay, I mean,
I'm gonna.
getting into cover in the same hex is a free thing, so you don't need. Because Sloboslaw is going first.
Oh yeah.
So that's free. You don't need to do anything for that.
Did
You've
the
still got
did
either
the-
2 fasts or
did the
1
sh-
fast and 1
Do
slow.
all these things, the shrubbery and the rocks, is that cover or is that just appearance?
Yeah. So yeah, this is cover. It does grant cover. I'm going to treat it as woodland.
So,
Okay.
Blammo.
This is
I suppose I'll just have to go commit kerblamo. Am I right?
I would just throw a grenade, to be honest with you. What's the distance like as far as grenades go? Like, because I don't know if this is to scale or not.
so each hex is 10 meters. It should all be preset to that. Let me just do a measure. Yep, it's set.
So about the same as
And
before
is
when
the-
I tried to throw a rock.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
you're a decent distance away.
I don't
Yeah,
think
because
you should.
the ranges for my grenades is like a
Hey.
3.
Yeah.
Basically, you're better off hiding and then wait until they come past and then kill them.
If they don't know we're here yet and they're moving
Yeah.
toward us, I say we set
don't
up an
know.
ambush and let them fall into the trap.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
exactly.
definitely think the
They don't know
long
we're
range-
here.
I definitely think the long range shooters should shoot
I'm
first.
gonna go into cover right here.
Okay.
Wait, where'd you go?
I'm gonna wait.
I don't even see your token anymore.
I think it
Oh.
ended up underneath me.
That's funny.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
All
Yeah.
right. Now it's the Commodore. What are you going to do?
I am going underneath the truck.
Okay.
Underneath the
Crawling
truck?
underneath the truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's hiding.
Are
He's
you
like, I
going
don't
to
wanna
be
fight.
adopting? Are you going to be adopting Overwatch or doing anything else special?
I'm gonna just keep a watchful eye out.
Okay. Next, it is Dalton.
Kill everybody.
What's happening? I keep checking for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so you haven't been observed yet. The Russian troops appear to be moving around past you, but their eyes are still very much to the north. It's like they're trying to get a better flanking position on the dugout. So they are slowly approaching you. The members of your team are adopting quiet ambush positions.
Gotcha. So how far can I crawl?
1 hex.
1 hex?
And you can mobility roll to go further than that.
All right. Hang on just 1 second. Let me see what my mobility ability is. I don't have any, but I have agility,
Okay.
so I have decent agility. Yeah, I'm gonna drop prone, and I'm gonna attempt to crawl to this point here.
Fantastic.
So I
now
crawl
here's a question.
and then I'd have to roll to get to the next.
You would. Have you all left your backpacks in the truck, or are you wearing them?
I probably would have dropped mine as soon as we
It's in the truck.
jumped out of the vehicle.
Yeah, mine doesn't have anything
In that case,
really that I need, so.
in that case, you do not take the mobility penalties for wearing a backpack. Okay, in that case, you're in woods, so it's going to be mobility at, I believe, -2, but I'm just going to check that.
Since I'm from Tennessee, can it be a +2?
No.
I'm a New Englander.
Yeah.
Trees don't mean nothing to me.
Oh, no, it's mobility at -1.
Okay. -1. Coming at you.
Minimize that. All right, yeah, so you're successful. You can move 1 additional hex. So that's a fast. Do you want to do anything with your other fast? You've gone quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my microphone is one of those ones that if you bump it and knock it up, it mutes. No, I would take an aim, just a generic aim in their direction, and kind of take an Overwatch posture at this point.
Okay.
Trying to avoid giving away our position until everybody's ready to engage.
Fantastic. And yes, Infamous, your initiative.
So I want to move. I can move 2 squares at a time, right? Is that? Oops. Sorry about that. I can move 2 squares at a time, right?
If you're standing up, yes.
Yes, which I am. So I want to go. Let's see. I think I want to. I don't know if this is considered 2 or 3 squares, but I want to go there.
From your current location, that would be 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
It would be 3 either way. Yeah.
Yeah. So 1, 2, and this would be 2, right?
Yeah, that's 2.
So I want to go there because. And do I still have partial cover there? No, because it looks like just grass.
Yeah, that's open, that one. But you still have a fast move, if another move, because a move is only a fast and you've got 2 fasts. So you can keep moving, or you can mobility roll and not consume your second fast movement.
Do I even have... I don't think I have mobility. Oh, I do. I have D. So if I do the mobility roll and then I move again, does it take another action to then do what Dalton did and post as Overwatch?
Nope. The mobility roll is effectively what means you don't have to take 2 fast actions to move that far.
So then I guess I could just move again, maybe. I'm just moving the tokens to show you what I intend to do. Move up to here and still stay within partial cover and basically do the Overwatch thing. You know, if they get close enough, or if they open fire, or once Dalton fires, then I fire, kind of thing.
Yep. Are you still standing or dropped prone?
Is it So I'm definitely not prone, but what I want to do is I want to get on one knee. Is that considered prone, or is that considered standing, or in the middle?
For the purposes of these rules, that's standing.
Okay.
Anything other than full prone is standing.
Cool. That's what I want to do then. I basically just want to like crouch behind a bush and a rock and get ready to shoot when need be.
Give me a mobility roll to see if you had to do 2 fasts to get that far, or if you only had to do a fast and like mobilize to get that far, because that'll affect whether or not you could set up the Overwatch.
Do I roll just the mobility straight, or do I do modifiers?
-1.
Okay. So go into combat and then change it from C to B.
Yep.
Oh no, C to D.
No, C to D. C to D.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm at 2 Ds. Yay.
Okay. So in order to get that far, 4 squares, you'd have to have moved twice with no successes, which means you used both fasts.
So I don't do Overwatch.
That's fine. That's correct.
Okay, then I'll just go when it's my turn then. I just don't want to be
Excellent.
like behind him when he's shooting, and then I can't really shoot them.
Yeah. It's now the Russians' turn. They get a passive recon roll just to see if they spot you. I'm just making sure I put in the appropriate negatives. I have. Right.
Whoa.
So, as they're moving along, you see the lead Russian soldier freeze and then spin to face you whilst calling out words of alarm. You don't speak Russian, but you recognize words of alarm when you hear them shouted. And he will drop prone. I'll just put a little marker on him.
What about that critical fail? Does he step on a landmine or something?
Yeah, that complication.
No, so the critical fails only count when you push. He didn't push. So that's essentially a success on a normal fail.
Gotcha.
So he will. I'll just put in a little marker on him to show he has dropped prone.
Since Dalton's on Overwatch, does that mean he gets to now shoot him?
Yes, he does if he wants.
Cool.
I think we better.
Yeah, I don't think we have a choice now. Because I fucking stepped on a stick and it cracked and he heard it. Basically.
Yeah.
You can take a shot.
I'm not in sniper mode. I'm in. My weapon is set on burst fire. So let's see. What are my pluses and minuses?
So you are at close range, so that's going to be fine. In terms of terrain, you are at a minus 1. You are firing before he's had the opportunity to do anything, so he doesn't have any kind of cover, which will be nice. And you've got a weapon that matches your specialism, so that would normally be a +1, but you're at 2 A's, so you're firing at full.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to add, let's see, I'm going to add 2 boxes of ammo. I'm going to give him a burst.
Do it.
And coming at you.
All right. You hit him. You don't score anything extra unless you want to push. Do you want to push?
No, because I want to preserve my rifle, so I'll just take.
Okay.
Hopefully he's suppressed.
Yeah, roll a d6 to randomize hit location. 5. I think that's an arm.
I think it's arm, yeah.
Yeah. So you hit him in the arm. This is an unarmored location. He does not benefit from any cover. You've got a damage 3 weapon, as I recall.
Yes.
So he takes 3 points of damage. What is your crit threshold?
3.
He is dead. You hit him.
He twisted around and hit his head on a tree and fell down.
Yeah, like you hit his arm, but like you hit it in the shoulder. You hit it in such a way as that it like rips the arm off.
Lost a lot of blood.
Does not kill him instantly, but poof, he goes down onto the ground. You hear him screaming for a bit, but it is clear that the end is coming for him, and there's nothing much that can be done about it.
I do have a question. Real
All
quick.
right.
If that wasn't a
Yes.
crit, if he had just hit his arm, does that mean he couldn't raise his rifle?
So no, because these are minion NPCs, are crit kills. However, the
Right.
thing that would normally disable an arm is like a critical hit on a PC or on a non-minion NPC. One of the possibilities of a crit is arm disabled. But if it's just a normal non-critical hit to an arm, it doesn't pass the critical threshold. The arm continues functioning as normal.
Okay.
All right. Now I have one more question. Because I rolled on the combat tab instead of the actual weapons tab, how do I deduct the ammunition?
So, looking at your 2 dice, I noticed that they add up to 7.
Yeah.
So, on your, I'll just go into some random tab. So, in the combat tab, if you see in spent, which is the far right column, you can keep track of.
Yeah, I see it. Got it.
Round spent. Okay. So that was a very successful interrupt. The rest of the Russians on that initiative have still got their turn, but they are very unhappy about this scenario. This chappie, who you notice is carrying what appears to be a PKM, drops to the ground. And
PKM's a light squad machine gun, right?
that is correct.
Like the MP5.
He drops to the ground.
No, it's it's kind of like a
an
saw.
M60.
Oh, okay. By the way, after they go, is the other people in the bunker going to go, or is it just between me and them now, or us and them now?
So, for it's between you and them now. The bunker people, they appear to be shooting at something else.
Oh, great! They're busy.
Yeah, they're busy. So, hang on. So he has dropped to the ground. He has also sought cover using a fast action, and dropping to the ground. Ooh, get out here. There we go. Dropping to the ground is a free action, so he's still got his slow. He will aim in the direction of the man who just killed his friend and fire. Now, he is firing without aiming, so that's a negative. He's firing into woodland. That's a negative. He is going to consume ammunition dice. And it's clear from what he's doing that he's more aiming to suppress you than anything else. So, let me just have a look at that.
Is communication a free action, or do we have to wait till our turn?
If it's a few words, like a sentence or two, then it's free. If it's more than that, you wait till your turn.
Are they at a
Brief
distance?
words are free.
What about combat hand signals?
Yeah, that too.
It's the same thing. If it's a brief message, I just random hand.
Is the enemy
there,
at a
but yeah,
distance?
free.
What's the distance of the enemy is at? Are they able to hear us if we yell, or is the machine gun fire
They
suppressing it and all
are
that stuff?
About 80 meters away from you, and firing a machine gun. It's going to be hard for him to hear what you're doing.
All right, I'm gonna.
You're saying.
I just want to yell to anybody. By the way, are you still using the private on our side, or is he kind of out of the game at the moment?
He is going to be acting at the end of the initiative order.
Okay, I just want to basically suggest to the officers and the private to do the thing that I suggested and flank to the rear so that they, because if that's a machine gun firing at us, then it's bad, and we want to make sure that if we can't fire back because of suppression, that someone can flank them where they're not being suppressed. So if they want to do that on their turn, that'd be great. If not, that's fine too.
So this machine gunner spins around, drops to the ground, seeks cover, and Dalton, take a CUF roll at -1. You are not hit, but the sheer volume of fire may suppress you.
All right, I gotta find the CUF tab because I don't remember.
I think it's on.
It's in combat top right.
Yeah, I see it. So -1, you said?
Yeah, and I believe that the group combat factor is an A normally because of the Commodore.
Yeah.
Mine was an A as well already, so it doesn't. It's a B either way.
I think mine was a C.
I get both.
Yeah, because you are within communication distance of friendly team members, you get both the personal and the group roll.
So it would have been an AA, but I'm taking a BA now because of my own.
Yep.
Excellent. You pass the coolness under fire. You are not pinned. And the next thing that happens on this sort of run of initiative is this guy goes. He goes to there and drops prone, seeking cover. Okay. So just make a little note there. It is Crispin's turn. Robert Crispin will. Robert Crispin will stick with the plan, and he keeps looking north toward the bunker, like his attention is slightly distracted, but he will stick to the plan. So he will go. He was there. So 1, 2. He's going to try a mobility roll. Ugh. Oh, he succeeds.
Wow.
So he gets
Oh shit.
1, 2, 3, 4. He gets that far. He will stay standing, and he won't seek cover because that takes too much time. And he will fire at the machine gunner. It will do this. He misses and does nothing. And yes, that is that. To your north, you are aware of the sound of more gunfire, but none of the bullets appear to be coming your way in this maelstrom. It causes you some concern. What else are they firing at? But it is now Sobislaw's turn.
Okay. Okay. So I cannot really do much because of the range of both my pistol and the capacity to yeet my grenades.
I will say, give me a free recon roll.
Sure.
Just flat, because you're the furthest
Africa.
north. Yeah. Okay, carry on.
You see nothing here.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Why do I hear boss music? Is it possible I could try to slowly, while prone, try to sneak myself closer via the brambles?
Okay, do you want to go? Which compass rose direction are you thinking of going?
Here?
Oh, straight north.
My
So yeah,
destination.
I'll tell you this for free. Because none of the enemy have adopted Overwatch, what you can safely do is, although it will make you easier to spot, other than that, is move standing, which would allow you to move 2 without pushing, without doing a mobility roll per fast action. And then you can just drop prone for free at the end. You're not really at risk of taking fire. Moving whilst crawling is a lot more sensible if you're at risk of taking fire.
Right. I'll walk and then drop prone.
Okay, since you have now moved to the extreme north, there is now two things that you're going to see without a recon roll. Previously, you needed recon rolls to do it, but you've gone to the extreme edge. You can see these. I will reveal them on the map in a moment, but the first thing that I'm going to do is roll one of their attacks so you can see what's happening. This attack is not directed at you. It is not. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a tank.
Holy shit.
That did not roll correctly, but it would have missed anyway. Yes, you notice. I now have to move it to the appropriate layer. This rather delicious T-72 to the some way to your north. Let's change its layer. There we go, token layer. You also notice, although it's not doing anything this exact turn, it's big enough that you can see it, and maybe 1 or 2 rounds come from it. You also notice this BMP2 a little further to the south, but in the wood line to the north of you. If you zoom out and scroll north, you may be able to see them both.
I see them both.
Yep.
Oh god.
You're also aware of more fire, like automatic weapon fire, than those 2 things should be generating. You can't see where that's coming from. So that was your movement, getting that far and dropping prone. I'll just put a little prone marker on you.
You're so please, pretty please.
Yep. So up next, it is the Commodore.
Yep.
Hey, Commodore, you want to get out from under the truck and help?
Yeah, he's gonna get out from underneath the truck and get up and move to about there because he can only move 2 spaces. Can he just shoot at this one right here?
There you go,
You
Lucky.
absolutely can. 3, 4, 5, 6. So you will be at -4 for range.
He'll still kill someone
-1.
somehow.
Yeah, -1 for terrain type. Minus, I think it's 1, but it might be 2 for firing at a prone target. So let me just check if that's a 1 or a 2.
Basically holding her little 9mm at a 45-degree angle and lobbing shells like an artillery gun.
Yeah,
Maybe
Actually,
we'll
it's
get
45.
Oh, 45.
It's actually 45.
Well, that wouldn't even go that far then.
Oh, you have a 45? Well, if you die, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 45s are slow-moving bullets.
Yeah. So yeah, you miss, but this is not surprising. And you don't even come close to suppressing him. Your fire is ineffective. That is your turn.
Can I just drop down?
Yes, you can drop prone for free. I'll put the marker on you. There we go. There we go. So you have dropped prone. That's sensible. It is now Dalton's turn. You are under automatic weapon fire. You're keeping your head together. You have not been suppressed, but you are now aware of a T-72 and a BMP-2 some way to your north.
Yeah, my M21 sniper rifle ain't going to even scratch the paint on them rascals.
Mm-hmm.
My focus right now is trying to take the machine gunner out.
Okay.
I'm still prone, although I don't know how you're getting the prone symbol. I don't see that symbol on the...
So if you click on your token, you'll notice
I know how to get to the tokens. I don't see the one that you're using.
Okay. If you scroll down
I
a
see
little
it.
bit.
I found it.
Yep.
I found it.
Excellent.
Okay. I had to zoom way in to even figure out what it was. I thought it was something totally different, so I wasn't seeing what I was looking for. Okay. I'm going to take a regular aim.
Yep.
Weapon still in select in burst fire mode. I'm going to take a shot at this guy. A couple of ammo dice like I did before.
Mm-hmm.
So what are my pluses and minuses? It's a little further away now.
Yeah. So fast aim is just level. You are at short range, so level.
Yeah. He's still within 100 meters. Yep.
Yep, exactly. Target prone, -1. He's not in full cover, but he is in woodland, so that's another -1, so -2. Not a moving target, not called shot. You've got a relevant specialism, back up to -1. Yep, that's it, -1.
Okay. 2 ammo dice again. Coming hot.
Oh, that's a miss, but he does have to roll to see if he is suppressed. And you used 7 rounds of ammunition.
Okay, so let's back to my... I've burned 14 rounds so far.
He is
20 round.
suppressed. He can take no actions in his next turn.
Well, it's not as good as being dead, but him not being able to shoot's good enough.
And now it is infamous. Your turn.
After seeing the lieutenant run and jump onto the ground in the middle of combat, and then looking and seeing the Commodore come out from under a truck and then try to shoot a pistol at 100 meters away, I turn to the private and I say, "Can I join your squad?" And then I move forward and start shooting. By the way, so I am going to probably use the minor and major action terms just so it helps me. Can I move 2 spaces and then shoot as a major action, or can I only...
You can. You'll
Okay.
be at a slight negative for not having taken the aim minor action, but
Okay,
you
well-
can do it.
well, the only reason I was going to move was to get closer to get a better shot. But if you think aiming would help better, I don't know which one, or is it half a dozen of
So,
one and
what's-
6 of the other?
At this point, it's half a dozen, 1 and 6 of the other. I think you've got. I think it's a range 4 weapon.
It is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
It'll be
6,
medium
7,
range.
8. Yeah, you're at medium range, so that's -1, and not aiming is -1. So if you get closer, if you stay where you are, either way it'll be -1. If you get closer, it'll still be -1, but it might not be next turn.
Right. But also, they could potentially swivel their machine gun around and aim me. So
That is absolutely true.
I think what I'm gonna do
Oh, the
is...
machine gun's suppressed though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'll move.
He ain't gonna fire the next turn.
Okay, so I'll move 2, and that's 2, I think. And then I will not slow aim or whatever it's called, and I will just shoot. Is that what you're...
Yep.
Okay.
That's absolutely fine. So that
Nice.
is going to be, -1. We'll say -1 for this. -1 for quick shot. Normally it would be -2, but we'll do -1 for this one. So -1 for the quick shot, and -1 for medium range. So that's -2, and -1 for the cover. So yeah, -3. Unless you've got anything that you think would buff that, but I don't believe you do.
So that brings my A attribute down to D, right?
A, B, C. Yes, D.
Okay, and then I have a C for skills, so I guess we'll just spray and pray. Okay,
You hit.
I hit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Prayer works.
yeah. You hit. Roll a d6 for the randomized hit location.
Please, I'm guessing 6 is headshot.
It
6
is.
is head.
Okay, please be a 6, so we could end this chaos. Oh, torso, I think.
3. That's a torso hit. You've got a damage 2 weapon, I believe. He's got the benefit of cover, which reduces the damage, and he is wearing a flak vest. You hit him, and he seems to shift, like he's taking a heavy blow as he's lying down, but you see no blood.
Right. Okay.
Now that was
And
the
it-
suppressed guy that you just hit.
The machine gun guy.
Now does he take another
He
cool under fire roll?
Yeah, you can't be super suppressed. He is just suppressed. He can't stack. But he will actually take the roll because he could, in theory, get
He could run
stress
away.
damage.
Oh, stress
Exactly.
damage. Yeah, panic. Yeah.
So it's the gunner template we're using for this one.
If I saw my beard.
Okay,
I'd run
no,
away.
he does take further stress damage, and I'm actually going to give him a little bit more because he was hit while suppressed. That's not in the rules, but I think that's sensible. He's very shaken. He's not running yet, but he is very shaken. All right. Robert Crispin is going to go... he's going to try mobility.
I'll be right back.
Oh, he'll succeed, so he goes... Sorry, what did you say there?
I'll be right back. Need to grab something. Need to start cooking dinner.
Of course. He will seek... no, he's going to fire without seeking cover, because otherwise he can't fire at all. He is going to fire and attempt to suppress the person who is not suppressed. So that's going to be -1, minus a lot. He's not a very good shot.
Oh, he's a reserve soldier. They never are.
Yeah. He will use ammunition dice. Yeah, he achieves absolutely nothing.
I'm wondering if his gun even fired.
he's accidentally loaded his magazine with blanks. But yeah, okay.
Little flag pops out the end of the barrel, drops down, says "bang."
Yeah. The
Yep.
Russians connect. The gunner spends his entire turn getting his shit together. But his shit is now together. And his buddy is aware they're bunched up. He's prone. He's going to stay prone. He's going to... Actually, no. He is going to stay where he is. He's going to fast action aim, slow action shoot at Robert Crispin, who's not in cover. So this is the organized grunt. BB becomes BC. What's the range?
70 meters.
Yep, 8, which puts him at medium range, so that's -2. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he hits. He gets an extra point of damage. 5. That is an arm hit. So there is a burst of 5x45 or 5.45 fire from his AK-74, which will do. Okay. I put this to the group. Do you want this person to be? I don't know why I'm turning to you like you're in the room. I put this to the group.
Well, no, you're supposed to look the other way. I don't know.
Do you want this person to count as like a minion NPC, or do you want him to count as a full player character?
Who are you talking about, Crispin?
Robert Crispin, yeah.
NPC, I guess. I don't see. What are the pros and cons of each? Like,
Well, if he's an NPC, I think he's about to die.
Yeah.
oh,
PC.
well,
Fine.
Yeah, for that,
okay, all
for
right,
that,
we'll do that.
for that one reason. Yeah, I guess unless there's something.
Kind of need to keep him around. So
Yeah.
All right. I'll put this guy's fate in your hands. Dalton, roll me a d10.
Uh-oh. I think he has connection issues, maybe.
Okay, whilst we're waiting for him to come back. Infamous, roll me a d10. A 3.
I'm back. What'd I miss?
So Robert Crispin moved himself into a position where he could, in theory, get better fire and suppress. He completely failed to do so. He has drawn counterfire. The Soviet machine gunner has stayed suppressed. Well, he spent his whole turn getting it unsuppressed, but he could do nothing else. But his fellow rifleman has just fired his AK-74 at Robert Crispin, and you can see Crispin suddenly flinch in a massive amount of pain and sort of spin round to take better cover behind a tree as he's shaking his hand. And then he immediately stops doing that and tries to like put it under an armpit, like try and put some pressure on it.
Man, if only we had a medic.
He's
If
debating.
only we had a medic.
Yeah,
with
he's
coffee in her
debating,
backpack.
which solves everything.
Yeah.
It looks like he's about to drop his M16 in an effort to like deal with his hand, but mechanically he's suffered from crushed fingers, which have turned into broken fingers, and is at a -2 for ranged combat for the foreseeable future. So it is now Sobislaw's turn. You have sighted a T-72 and a BMP, which appear to be putting fire on the dugout.
Oh, shit.
They are ignoring you for the time being. And you are aware of 2 Soviet soldiers to your east.
East. I think the better thing is to deal with the fucking Soviet soldiers. Like, right fucking now. Shit, can you remind me how to, oh, okay.
Hey, do you have smoke grenades by any chance?
I have white phosphorus grenades.
Isn't that just burning?
That's good. That's good for burning up a tank. Yeah, it's not good for cover.
I don't
Okay.
have. I don't have smoke grenades.
I would just throw the shrapnel grenade then, because that's. Am I right in assuming that throwing the grenade is better than shooting a pistol at that distance?
If you get it there, then yes.
Okay, I would say risk it. And there's no way to like buy extra dices or like momentum or anything to make it more
So-
chance of
Risk it?
succeeding.
Yes, you can. So if you have minor action, pull the pin, major action to use your turn, throw it, and you fail for whatever reason, it's a pushable roll,
All right.
which means that you can essentially roll your non-disaster failed dice again at the risk of taking a negative effect if you get any of those explosion dice.
If I remember correctly, there's something about a scatter die. If you don't make your roll, the grenade can go in a random direction too, right?
That's correct.
Is that a
would-
critical
would-
failure, like a complication, or is that just if it
No,
fails?
that happens. All area blast weapons, when they miss, they randomly scatter from their designated target location.
Can we instead of throwing it there, then maybe we should throw it like slightly out that way. That way, if it does bounce our way, it's less likely to hit us.
The maximum it can bounce is D6 in a direction, so that's 6 hexes.
Wow, that's a
2,
bounce. That's a
3,
60-yard
Yeah.
bounce.
4.
Although
Five,
it is then also
6.
it can't bounce more than half the distance of the throw. There's also
Oh,
that.
okay. Oh, all right.
Like whichever is lesser.
That's still a pretty good bounce for a hand grenade.
Yeah.
I mean, I've thrown plenty of them. I ain't never seen any on bounce 40 meters before.
Yeah, not even when you're knocking off a tree.
Especially if it's.
I think I may do a random sort of this is not sensible roll if you get too high.
Yeah.
But yeah, so attempting to throw a grenade, it works differently to normal ranged combat. It's awkward, but let me just bring it up. So hand grenades use the same rules as heavy weapons, with these exceptions. Roll for mobility instead of heavy weapons, so it's a strength mobility roll. Maximum range is short. Don't worry. You need time to pull the pin, which is a fast action. You don't need an action to aim a grenade, and you don't get a penalty for not doing so. And if a hand grenade lands in your hex, you don't need to worry about what happens if a hand grenade lands in your hex on this. That's a separate thing. So maximum range short. And let me have a look at the range increments on this thing. So you might be out of range. Weapons. Grenades. Where are you hiding?
So I fully intend to shoot back, so don't think that I'm not
Range
going
3.
to. But
Yeah.
you
can only throw a grenade 3 hexes. Carry on, Infamous.
That sucks. But if I can I like as a minor action order them to stand down because they're surrounded and outnumbered, and then if they don't, also in my same turn fire if they don't, or does it have to be?
Yes,
one or
I'll
the
allow
other?
that. Yeah,
Okay, because that's all I wanted
because that's
to really
effectively a fast and a slow.
Yeah, because I figure if we could get them to surrender, then we that at least gets it fixes our situation. We still have to worry about the tanks, but at least the immediate situation is taken care of.
Yeah, but there's other firing we haven't identified yet, so there might be more infantry out there.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, Sobislaw. Since you're on the very northern edge, give me a free recon roll.
Okie
Flat.
dokie.
No
Yeah.
negatives.
I'm thinking there might be to their northeast. There might be more that we just don't see
Oh.
on the screen.
I
Okay,
think we're about to
that's-
find out.
That's a lot of successes. Give me a moment.
You should call yourself Dragon since it's Draco. Actually, Gabriel might just call you Dragon for the hell of it.
Ah, for all of it.
Dragon breath. Maybe one day you woke up on the bunk and your breath was just in his
Wow.
face. It's like, oh, dragon breath, get the
Wow.
fuck away from me. Go brush your teeth.
If you look to your north, you will now see what Sobislaw has spotted.
Oh, kurwa.
Oh, awesome.
You can
Not
you
a
can
good
tell.
time.
Yeah, you can tell with particularly the Commodore's intelligence from this that what you're effectively facing is a fully loaded BMP's worth of troops, plus some people who might have been BMP riders or tank riders.
Oh, kurwa.
I wish the Commodore was in yelling distance. I don't know if he is, but I would definitely be like, "Hey, let's get back in the truck and fuck off right now."
Well, I'm kind of wondering why there's 3 guys so much separated away from the rest of their unit.
Well, we were
I
separated.
mean, why would these? No. Well, we were together. These 3 guys, one of which we've already killed, why are they so far separated away from their main unit?
Maybe recon.
What you can
unit.
tell, it's not going to be useful in this combat, but what Sobislau in particular would see from his position on the north is that, and I'll just draw it with a pen. I'll use green. Yeah, this light green. The tree line kind of it doesn't go off the edge of the map. But yeah, it hooks round in a crescent moon off the side of the map. So there is a continuous line of trees off map to the east that you think, with the Commodore's high intelligence roll, that they effectively knew this was here, dismounted some distance away and approached, and this group was sent to flank from the south, but they were once all together.
Okay.
It also explains. I mean,
It just seems kind of me.
Yeah, it is weird, but I mean, you said that their equipment was like up to date, like modernized. Like this could be like a more of an elite team than we're used to dealing with, which is why there's only 3. Maybe they're supposed to scout this side and see what was going on before joining up with their main force and launching an attack. But either way, I think we should get to the truck.
Okay,
Well,
but
I don't. Is there any way that they could have communicated our presence to the main force?
You do not
Is that
notice
something-
them
is that
carrying
something-
radios, so
Yeah.
it's unlikely.
Okay. So I think we need to eliminate these guys
Okay.
Yeah.
so that they don't report that there's another unit running around to their south.
Yeah.
And then once we get rid of these guys, then we bug out.
And also, if we grab the
Because
truck,
we can.
we can grab the other guys in the bunker too if we like are really quick about it. But they can't take their tank; it's way too slow.
I want to steal the guy's gear, the modern gear.
But
If
either
we
way,
have
in the
time,
vehicle.
we might not have time.
it's Sobislau's turn. Sobislau, what are you doing?
Okay, so, yeet the grenade!
Okay, you need to get closer, so you'll need to take essentially move actions and ideally mobility rolls to get within range. You won't be able to throw the grenade this turn, but you might be in a position to do it next turn.
Yeah, you know what? Right here. Best work.
I'm gonna allow dragon. I'm
That's,
gonna yell dragon breath. No, you're getting too close to people with machine guns.
Yeah, in order to grenade them, you'd need to be, essentially within 3 hexes of them, so I'll just draw a little line. Assuming they don't move.
What?
I didn't
I'm
mean to
going to
draw a
do
square.
something insane.
Mhm.
I am
Something
going
else you mean?
to drift, like, grenade yeetus, and then dip.
Okay, so that kind of green line is roughly what grenade range is.
Green line? I don't see green line.
You see a light green line that I've drawn, like in MS Paint, as it were, over the trees?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Might be on the wrong
I'll
page.
see if
No,
I
I
can.
don't see it.
Wrong
Are you
page.
drawing it on the GM layer?
Yeah, I've moved it to
There it
token.
is.
There we go.
Oh, okay, there we go, there we go. You know what? No, but my thing is, that would my movement get those assholes' attention?
Yeah, it would be very
Probably.
obvious.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay, let me think.
And they're not suppressed anymore, so make sure that if you're going to move, you have time to drop into cover.
So I am going. I'm stumped. I'm really stumped.
I would move slightly closer to us in case we have to bug out, but maybe a little.
Yeah,
bit
I would
closer.
say
I'm going
fall
to-
back.
I'm gonna
Fall back to our line.
over here.
Yep, that's perfectly fine. And you can essentially drop prone and seek
As
cover.
an time. There's an entire invasion force.
Don't accidentally shoot him.
Let's give you this. Yeah. Ah, you did it yourself. It's cool.
I did it actually.
Excellent. Okay, so that's your turn. It is now the Commodore's turn. Commodore.
Okay, I'll move up to here. Can I try and take a shot?
You
At this
can.
dude.
You are firing at -6.
That's it. We're trading weapons. I don't care. I'm taking your gun and you're taking my rifle. Because if you want to keep doing that
Nope.
as a Commodore, then here you can have my assault rifle.
Oh,
Wow, that's a firm no.
You to the point that you literally glitched the universe.
Oh my god. Roll the d6 for randomized hit location.
Another lobbed shot from out in left field.
Lucky stars over here. What the
And it's a
hell?
headshot on top of it. Look at that.
Oh!
yeah.
What is what is
This
your base
random
damage?
45 caliber piece of lead comes
I'm
falling
taking
out
that
of the sky
gun.
and brains this guy.
I'm telling you, that's fine.
It's damage.
Yeah, what's your base damage?
Base damage is 2.
Okay. Hang on, I need
Crit's
to check.
3.
Crit's 3. Yeah, you're not critting. Because you didn't get the extra successes necessary for that.
You pulled a Xerxes. The bullet went through his cheek and out the other side.
Okay.
If it hit him in the helmet, the poor guy's laying there wondering where the hell the church bells are coming from.
Yeah, pretty much. So there's a like off a steel helmet. He's dazed for a moment. You haven't. Well, let's see if he's actually suppressed because you have hit him, and he did take damage. Oh god. Let's see. Where's this? Oh, there it is. Mhm. So he is resuppressed as you hit him in the head.
Is that the
And
machine
he
gunner?
is looking. Yes, that's the machine gunner, and he is looking very unhappy about the world. He's looking on the edge. This is code for he's taking 4 out of 5 stress damage.
And I fall down to the ground.
You prone, poof, fall down. You lucky bastard!
I'm telling you, that's the nickname, Lucky.
Yep. Dalton, it's your turn.
Holy crap. I want that guy's gun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take a just a generic fast aim. Take a shot at the other guy that's not suppressed currently because he hasn't gotten hit in the head with a random falling piece of lead. And probably the same roll as before, right? The A-B roll that I was doing before.
Yes, AB roll with all of
Okay.
the
This time, because I've only got about 6 rounds of ammo left in my magazine, I'm only going to use 1 ammo box. Coming hot.
Ooh, very nice. Roll a randomized hit location. Pray it's not one with armor.
Yeah.
Pray it's an arm. An arm is what you want. Ah, torso. So your base damage 3 becomes 4 because of that extra success.
Yep.
Becomes 3 again because of his cover. Becomes 2 because of his armor. It's not a crit, but you have hit him successfully and done actual damage to him. And he also has to make a CUF roll. He is successful. He is not pinned.
Okay.
But you have winged him. He is not happy about this.
Okay, so real quick, out of character, out of sequence thing. I got 1 round left in my magazine. When that round is expended, how do I reload? Is that an action?
Okay. So what you do is you do a ranged combat roll flat. If you succeed, you reload as a fast. If you fail, you reload as a slow.
Okay. Not worried about it yet, but I got one shot I can take left. I just want to be prepared.
Okay, so it is now the rider.
I guess I'm taking aim at the machine gunner and firing.
Well, he's still suppressed. We ought to attack the other
okay.
guy.
Yeah, then I'll do that. Although he is a bit further away, but so
And he is wounded.
it's DNC
Or
again, right?
he's been hit.
D6 and this D8. Oh, sorry. Yeah, DNC, right? Because it went down 3 from A.
Oh. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
You're firing at a prone target, and yeah. Okay, you hit him. What's your base damage? 2, I'm reckoning.
Where's that again? Oh yeah, 2. Yeah, I found it.
Roll a d6 for the randomized hit location.
2.
2, I believe that's is either a leg or an arm. Let me just check.
I think it's leg.
Yeah. Yeah, leg. So you are going to do so. It's a covered area because he is in cover. And so, but it's not got armor. Yeah, you hit him. You do a little bit of damage to him, and he will have to do another CUF roll, which he fails. You have successfully suppressed this man, and he is visibly bleeding. They are both suppressed.
Good.
The fire from your immediate north appears to die down. And as a side note, Solislaw, when you saw like the T-72, the BMP, and so forth, you also noticed that there were about 3 NATO corpses that you could see either in or around the dugout and the M113. So they've taken casualties but are still fighting.
Wait. You said the gunfire was dying down and there was 3 dead people where the 3 soldiers were supposed to rendezvous with?
Yeah.
So basically they're all dead?
Just the gunfire from these 2 is dying down. The rest from the north is still firing.
I thought you meant all together.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is that there are seemingly 3 people still alive, up north. And I've noticed one of them's a clone. I'm just replacing him. There are 3 people still alive up north, but there are an additional 3 dead people, as in 3 people were dead before you even got here.
Gotcha. That's okay. Cool.
Okay. It is now this chappie's turn. He is badly wounded in a way that's going to make his range combat suck. He is instead going to go 1, 2, 3.
See,
3, 4.
If Mac had traded weapons with him, he'd have the pistol and he could have fired with one hand. But no.
That's true. And he actually, no, he is going. He can see his dead friends. He's very angry about this. He's going to go. Ooh. I'm going to give him a CUF roll to see if he does something. This is going to be fun.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Oh, yeah, no, he keeps his cool, but he's cheesed off, so he does do this. I'm going to... He's going to go doop to
charges.
there. To there. Not there. He's going to go there, and then he is going to drop prone and be in cover. You can fire over him safely. That's not
Don't throw the grenade just yet.
So it's prone, and I'll give him his cover. Okay. It is their turn. They spend their entire turn being unsuppressed as the fire to your further north keeps going. You hear a as something large fires in amongst all the rest of the automatic fire. And it is going to be a... Right. Oh no.
What?
So damage.
We're gonna get tanked.
It's about to be a TPK.
So,
No.
all of you can see this, even the ones a little further into the woodland. It's sufficiently large. There is a loud bang, and you can hear like wood splintering and you can hear.
Is that the dugout?
You can, yeah, and you look over, and you can in the direction of the dugout, and you can see bits of wood and like sheet metal arcing in the air, and the sound of someone screaming.
I just look to the Commodore, and I don't say anything. I just look and then turn back to the enemy.
But yeah, they spend their entire turn being unsuppressed. It is Sobislau's turn.
Okay.
Unless you want. Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say, unless you want to make Crispin into fried crispy, you don't want to throw a grenade just yet.
You know what? I'm going to try to move my way over here.
Yeah, that's fine. No, he's not in immediate grenade range so long as you hit.
Yeah, but it could bounce off. That's the thing.
Well,
Yeah.
and you could always throw a little bit to the north, and
Yeah, that's true.
You could, and also because it can only bounce a maximum of 1/2 of throw distance rounded down, it'll only ever bounce 1 hex.
You know what? I'm gonna take the risk
I would do it
and
then.
yeet the grenade to the northeast.
All right, yeah, sure, you can do that. Yeah, make your strength mobility roll.
Okay, strength mobility roll. Okay. Strength.
Just mobility, which I think is actually an agility thing. I do apologize. Okay.
Strength and agility or mobility?
So mobility. Okay, all right. We did it slightly weirdly, but we still hit, so that's good. So you go. Place like a little marker where you would want the grenade to be.
Okay.
You can like. Did you say there?
Yeah, right here.
I'll allow it. It's like 1 hex out of range, but I'll allow it. Okay, so it lands there. Are you using your sort of anti-personnel fragmentation?
Yes, frag grenade.
All right.
Did you yell frag out?
Frag out!
Okay, it's a blast range of B, which means that so that becomes C, that becomes D. It's only going to hit one of them, but it's going to hit the machine gunner.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. He now. It's damage B, which means it is grade 8. I do apologize. And what is the damage on that thing?
It's
I want to say
an
it's
8.
2.
And a
2
crit.
with a crit of 3.
2 with a crit of 3. Yeah, you didn't get additional successes, so it doesn't go into the crit range. He is, however, you don't get cover from explosives. Well, he won't because it's from the wrong angle. You don't, so he doesn't get cover. He's prone, blah blah blah. Prone. Yeah, no, there's no way he can survive this. The damage base is just too high. He dies
Turned into tomato paste.
in the blast. You see like a bit go somewhere. You are very aware that this man is dead. He doesn't have time to cry out or anything. He is just dead.
Way to go, Dragon Breath.
It is the Commodore's turn. Commodore, you are aware that Robert Crispin is kind of trying to like mime a radio at you. Other than that, you don't quite know what he's getting at.
Basically, he runs back to the truck, goes over there, and picks up the radio,
Okay.
and calls through to the squad up there to head south.
Okay, you get a reply. There's
Is it in
groaning
Russian?
and so forth in the background? No, it is in English. He said,
Your friends are dead.
No. Okay. The M113. It's bust. The M113 is bust. We're going to have to do it on foot.
No shit.
Cover us as best you can. We'll throw what smoke we've got, but it's probably not going to be enough.
Okay, we can see from where we are. Just head south.
Okay. Understood. Out. Yeah. It's
Yep.
not their turn yet, but when it comes to their turn.
Also,
Wait a second, I need to do something.
also, is Mac? Are you gonna like get the truck started so we can get out of here? Okay.
Yeah, that's why he
wondering.
went back to the truck.
Nice.
That's why he went back to the truck.
Well,
Good.
So
here's
we
a
can start
question:
it.
Is there enough capacity for the additional?
We might have to
personnel?
get rid of some stuff.
Yeah. There is not enough capacity for the additional personnel if you want to drive out. Either you're going to have to get rid of some stuff, or you're going to have to get creative, or some of them are just going to have to like run behind.
I'd rather get rid of stuff than leave anyone behind. That's the one thing
Yeah.
that he is not. He may not trust the soldiers at first, but once he's trusted them, he doesn't want to leave them behind.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the Commodore's turn. A vital turn. You did a lot of very important stuff there. It is now Dalton's turn.
Well, again, I'm going to take a shot, but this time it's going to be an aimed shot, but not fully automatic. It'll just be the one remaining round in the magazine.
Excellent.
So let's see. That's going to be the same, except no ammo dice. Right. Pow, and then there's a ping as the bolt flies back, and now it's out of ammo.
Fortunately, you didn't push, so you don't take the weapon degradation.
Right.
But yep, it's out of ammunition. You'll have to reload on your next turn. Red Rider, what you gonna do?
Well, I think I'm gonna fire. I guess I'll take aim, fire, and then I will. Hold on. Last time I took aim, right? But it was still -3. I thought it was supposed to be -2.
Last time you didn't take aim,
Oh, I
so
didn't.
this time aim will be +1, range will be -1. He's prone -1, so like
-2.
overall -1.
Oh,
Oh, -2, yeah, -2.
Yeah. All right. So
Because I forgot his cover.
Because what I was gonna do was just shoot and then run back towards the truck, but I think I'll aim, try to get a better shot off, and then my next turn I'll be running back towards the truck.
Yep.
All right. So grab character sheet. So that puts it from A to C, and then another C.
Oh, you hit him!
Yep.
And did you use any ammo dice? I don't think you
Oh
did.
no, I didn't. I forgot. I meant to though. Oh well.
Excellent. It's fine. So your base damage of 2, roll a d6 for the randomized hit location.
Randomized. It looks good.
Pray it's an arm. Or
Whoops. Wrong one. 1d6. 5. What's that? Legs?
5. I think that's an arm hit, which is
yeah.
exactly what you wanted.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, phew, it comes through. It hits his arm. Because he's only in partial cover, his arm is not benefiting from terrain cover. It doesn't have flak on it or anything on those lines. You got a base damage of 2. It all goes through. That takes him to 5, and he dies.
Nice.
That's his maximum damage amount.
Let's get the fuck
He
out of
dies.
here.
Yeah, he just goes prone on the ground.
Before we
Alright.
bug out, I would suggest that we go search the bodies for ammo and additional weapons.
I'm back. What
I mean, as lucky a shot as we are with that 45, I think we need a little bit more heavy rifle power.
yeah, definitely.
All right.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
Nominate one person to do actually, okay. All right. Do any of you want? And I'm taking this out of combat now because you're not going to be fighting the guys further to the north. I don't think you're that dumb.
not.
Do you want?
We got
to
white
give-
phosphorus. We can handle it.
Do you want to give these guys covering fire, or do you not want to give them covering fire?
Are you talking about the guys in the bunker?
Yeah, as they move south.
I wouldn't say covering fire, but I think we should stay in position in case the enemy moves south, then
Yeah.
provide covering fire
Yeah.
as necessary.
Because right now I don't even
Yeah.
think they are aiming at us, are they? Because we're in the trees.
They're not aware
That's
of us,
correct.
apparently.
Yeah, so I say we.
But if they see them
Uh,
bug out from the dugout,
Yeah, they might.
and I didn't mean to make that rhyme, but it did, we
Yeah.
may need to support them as they retreat.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
as far as getting the equipment, we can have the NPC do that while we get back to the truck in case he doesn't make it back in time.
Well, how's he going to grab anything? He's got a hand half blown off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll do it.
I would say one of you go and grab it, and
I'll do it.
the
Yeah, Lieutenant's
I'll do
close.
it.
Okay.
I think the RPK would be a nice thing to have.
Yeah, you definitely need a rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time to nab it.
Okay, so the people who are on scavenge duty can give me a survival roll.
but I
the
do
people
have-
who are on keep
I do have
keep looking
that
to the north duty.
scrounge specialty, so that would help.
All right.
Maybe
10.
I
That
should
would
help
help.
too.
Oh, 2 successes. Okay, so you can do that. You can help too. It will be relevant.
So it says +1.
I'll get a.
Yep,
I'll
plus
get
1
a
to your survival.
I get a sniper to keep watch the north.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to do it off of. I'll do it off of work.
Wow.
I got a crit.
Oh wow. Okay, that's going to be useful. T22. I'm just trying to find the best roll for this because I'm going to do it as a group roll.
By the way, me and my insanity, I did make a bunch of tokens with like random loot, 100 of them. So if you want me to send you those, and you can make little cards, and then we can just draw them, that you can do that too.
Ah, okay. You will be getting loot based on what these guys had.
Right.
It's
But I mean,
effectively how much you can scavenge quickly.
Yeah. I mean, like in the future, we're just scrounging around in a house or something.
Thank you very much. Okay, so
Who the
That's
hell's Sarah Tolbeck?
useful.
Was that one of the
so
Russians we
you
killed?
see? No, that is one of the people in the bunker.
Okay.
You see 3 people. So first of all, something comes out of the bunker, and smoke begins to appear in the area where I have drawn a blue squiggle. Then you see 3 people pop out of the back of the bunker in very quick succession, and they start sprinting, zigzagging as fast as they can across the open ground. They're doing their best, but this is not a good position for them to be in. They appear wounded.
I'm going to rotate my facing a little bit to help cover them as they run toward our position.
All right.
Basically, I would get the truck ready.
All right. As they are running, and they sort of get slightly out of the cover of the smoke where it obstructs line of sight, they do attract fire. They will attract these things. Hang on. Open relevant sheet.
Now, we're not officially in combat at the moment. Do I still need to roll to reload?
No, you can just get that for free.
Okay, good.
So, and he can't push.
Wait, is it possible?
Oh no! So, roll D3, someone.
I'll do it.
Okay. All right. The lead character in the people who are running towards you, he suddenly. Okay. He is. He's running towards you. He's zigging. He's zagging, and you hear a sudden crack from some way to the north, and at which point you notice him flop to the ground. This will be appropriate. You notice him flop to the ground as he has suddenly taken a really rather serious wound. To be more specific, he has taken... Right. He gets shot in the back. Boom! Face plants down in the ground. You can see him shifting. He's still moving. A lot of blood starts pooling underneath him very quickly. He clearly has an arterial bleed of some description. The other 2 keep moving. Dun, 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 dun. At which point, the only other thing that could, in theory, do anything about them at these extreme ranges, and that has line of sight, notices them. As you see, the BMP turret turn, and it unleashes automatic fire. I will now get that thing splayed out. Yep. It's not going to be any negatives.
And also, are the tokens for the Russians? Are they? Is there like are they? What's the word I'm looking for?
Oh damn.
Mm-hmm.
Are they
Carry
accurate as far as like what they are? Like this one's a machine gunner, this one's a sniper, this one's a rifleman. Are they accurate?
Yeah, largely. It's difficult for you to tell the difference between some of the riflemen because some of them are sergeants, like NCOs, some of them are riflemen, some of them are like underslung grenade launchers.
Right.
But you can clearly tell that this one is carrying a PKM or a machine gunner subscription. This one has got an anti-tank rocket launcher, and this one is a sniper.
Oh, I thought the anti-tank was a sniper, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's wearing a ghillie suit, but he's not.
So yeah, they're rushing along. The BMP suddenly unleashes quite large caliber automatic cannon fire. It swivels overhead. It doesn't actually hit. They keep moving. This one guy is being left behind in the open. Are you going to do anything about that as they keep running?
I'm not.
Basically,
Okay. Sorry, you were saying, Commodore.
well, he can't do anything. He literally can't.
All right.
How difficult would it be? And this is just me theoretically asking. I'm not, I don't think it
Anyone wants
necessarily
to do it.
should happen. But how hard would it be for our sniper to take out their sniper?
Well, he's 300.
Pretty damn
Yeah,
hard.
pretty hard. He's
Pretty far away.
He's a long way away, and also I haven't done it for these guys because they were never really going to be in your combat. But he's in cover, prone. It'll be a darn
He's
hard
going to
job
be
get
at
him.
least at long range, if not extreme long range, for my rifle.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And
It'll be like he would have had to get the really luckiest shot in the world.
Maybe you should take the shot.
Like me.
yeah, you should 45.
Yeah, just do it. Just see what happens.
And let's hope the
Question,
bullet doesn't
quick
melt
question.
on re-entry because you're going to have to use a pretty steep angle to get it there.
We have a question.
Carry on.
So, what has been able to be acquired from scavenging the two Soviets?
We'll come to that in a moment, as
Yeah.
something rather more urgent is going on.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
BMP fires, misses, doesn't do anything. People aren't suppressed. One person is lying down in the middle of the open field, bloody, and then suddenly, crack! Another shot from the sniper. Roll a D2.
Deal. Okay,
yeah,
I'll
roll
do
a
it.
D2. Yep. Okay. This guy, now roll a D6, please.
Alright. D6I.
Oh,
No.
that's not good.
Oh no!
Oh!
So he's running along. Dum, 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 dum. He's getting close to the tree line. He's about to make it. A hopeful look gets upon his face. He's about to get into safety, and then suddenly, boom! You just see it's like a tiny explosion at the back of his head and a larger one at the front as his brains hit the ground, and he instantly dies.
I thought he was gonna do
Down as the sniper shoots him in the back of the head.
I thought he was gonna do the platoon thing. He gets shot and it falls to his knees, and there's classical music playing in the background.
Not quite. It's
His
not
arms
quite that
raised up
dramatic.
in the air.
Yeah.
It's just instant. He doesn't
God,
even know
why?
it's happened.
God.
Flat in the ground as the sniper shoots him in the back of the head. But Sarah Tolbeck, lancing, zigging, and zagging, gets into the tree line. You've got one dead person, one dying person out in the open. Your scavenging has managed to get an AK-74 with one magazine worth of ammunition and a PKM with...
Oh,
The
let me
dash.
roll. I'll roll.
Oh, okay, right, roll a D2. Two belts of ammunition.
Nice.
Ooh,
Got it.
good.
Alright, got it.
PKMs and belt ammunition weigh a bunch. That will be important. They
Yeah,
should be
he-
in the core rulebook.
I turn over
Basically-
to Private, get over here.
He can't hold
I don't
that
think we
thing.
have anybody.
Evacuate ASAP. I repeat,
I don't-
ASAP. Where did you go?
Let's go. I'm just gonna yell. Let's go, everyone, to the truck.
Let's go.
We'll divvy up the loot later.
The female soldier who seems to have survived doesn't even pause. She just runs into the brush and is just running hell for leather for the truck. She just like dives into the flatbed and is immediately lying down, head like that. trying to be under it, and is just waiting for the thing to move. Do the rest of you sprint to throw out a bunch of items, or somebody has to do, I'm going to say, a stamina roll to cling on to the side as you drive away.
Who's
If you
got the highest
fail the
stamina?
stamina roll, you'll fall off.
Who's got high stamina? Mine is
I got a
B.
C and
I
an
got
A
a
on
C.
C and an A for strength.
That might be you
B
then.
on stamina, B on strength.
C and B and
All right,
C and
I'll
A.
take the roll. I'll take
Got
the
it.
roll.
Okay.
Oh, no.
No.
So
no!
Can I do
as
that
the
thing where I
pickup truck-
reach for him as he falls off and we clutch arms? I'll let go of my pack as I do it. I'll throw out my bag. I'll just throw out my backpack and grab him.
Okay, you throw out your backpack.
Yep.
I mean, the backpack doesn't
I know
take
it's
up much
lighter.
room. What I will let
We
you
can
do is
throw
if
away
you
the machine
do
gun,
a
too.
Yeah, you can throw away the machine gun. Do a stamina roll, because he's already falling. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a space thing now. It's not attached thing. I was going to give you a minus.
Oh, I'm sorry, we already rolled.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you roll. You grab him. You don't manage to he doesn't fall, but you don't fully haul him up because you are going to get some minuses.
Yeah.
And so as a result of which, he drags along the ground
Oof.
as you drive off. Take 2 physical damage, but not a crit or anything along those lines.
Him or
as
me?
you're dragged along on the ground.
That
No,
would be
him.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dalton.
I'm pretty sure my shoulder's dislocated at this point, and I'm doing that thing that thing where the rock was holding together the what was that thing? The helicopter. Ah.
Yeah. Now, a designated driver. You're driving in a combat scenario and you're moving away fast. Give me a driving roll with a -2.
Okay.
I wish I had my horse.
Bloody hell.
Right, that is a success.
Oh.
So you're driving along, and you practically hit a tree. You almost glance off it, but you just avoid crashing as you zigzag in between the trees. After a while, you slow down, and Dalton is let to the ground gently, taking no further damage. There is not enough space for all of you to ride. You're out of immediate danger, but unless you get rid of... Actually, I don't think it's possible for all of you to fit in there. Someone's going to have to walk.
My character would say, is
I think,
there any
yeah, I think there's only one
like
logical
farmhouse?
choice. I think I volunteer. There's only one logical choice. I have to go find the medic anyway, so it makes sense that I send the medic to you guys. Whether or not I continue to join you after that is a different story. But I definitely
Excellent.
Yep.
I don't think it makes sense to push the injured private out and be like, yeah, you go, or the Commodore who has literally got the best shot in the group, or the grenade holder, or the sniper. So I'm the only logical choice is me.
Fair enough. And where are you going to? Are you going back to your dugout to regroup and meet up with the doctor, or are you going to try to go somewhere else?
Well, I think they should get somewhere completely different than that because they clearly are going to be located. I mean, the first place that they're going to go after dealing with that dugout is our dugout. So I think they should go somewhere else. Maybe we figure out a way to communicate since I don't have a radio, but maybe walkie-talkies, I don't know. And then we could just meet up later because my dislocated shoulder is going to need some medical treatment anyway.
Yeah, you have
Also, you're
no
really staticky, by the way. It might
Yeah,
just be
you
my end.
are.
Is that any better?
Oh yeah, much.
Yeah.
Much better.
Excellent. What? You have no way of doing long-distance radio communication. You've only got one man-portable radio. You don't have little walkie-talkies or anything like that. It's that one-man portable radio. The one that was in the dugout is in the dugout, as in the one that you just saved some of the people from, or one of the people from. They did not bring that with them. Although you do notice Sarah Tolbeck, if I remember which one she is. Oh,
Is
you're
she the
going to
radio
like
person?
having saved... Pardon?
Is she the radio operator?
No, you're gonna like that. You're gonna like having saved Sarah Tolbeck, because guess what
Why?
she's carrying?
What?
She's carrying an M240B GPMG, and it's really weighing her down. She's going,
Yeah, I bet.
as she clearly took what of value she could for a short sprint. An M136 AT4. She's got an anti-tank rocket launcher.
Okay.
Nice.
And the other gun, if I remember correctly, the M240 is a saw.
It's a GPMG. I know that much.
So
It's a general purpose machine gun, but
yeah.
I think the M240 is like it basically shoots like an M60, but it shoots M16 rounds instead of bigger rounds.
It fires in 7.62 by 5.1, according to this rule set.
Oh, well, I could be wrong.
So
Basically, my character gets out of the truck and goes to the back to lay out a map to find out where the closest
that's what I was
farm.
going to ask. The closest location, like a city, town, farm, something like that, so that we know
All
where
right.
we can meet up.
I will take you all to this mysterious map. It may take a while to load as it's a complex map.
Yeah, I see our truck though.
Where are we?
I'm rubbing my eyes.
I
I'm
do.
so tired. It's so blurry.
Yeah.
Whereabouts
now
are we?
approaching the end of the session. So you are a little south of Calais. You may notice your truck icon there, upping it.
Yep.
And this is effectively your map of the region. I'm going to assume that you've got a couple of sheets of acetate and coloured pens, so you can draw on this and not permanently damage the map. This is yours to draw on as you want.
Do we have any idea which towns are occupied by Russians and which are not?
So, communication is poor. You didn't know a huge amount about what was going on before everything went down. You can reasonably assume from what just happened that Calais has fallen.
Right.
You know that there were Russians in Lodz and that their counterattack effectively came out like that. You don't know if a branch of them went south. You don't know. So, yeah, but you can assume that there were either Russians currently or were recently Russians along that path I've just drawn.
What if we meet in Kepno? Directly south, we'll have to cross the bridge at the river, but if we try to go to Zlokziv to the east, we're definitely going to encounter Russians. So I say we follow the river, and then we get on that bridge, we go to Kepno, we meet up, we get another vehicle, and we get the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So where's your rally point for when you all come together?
Let me, I'll circle it.
Are we still in the morning, or have we moved on to the next?
We're in early
shift?
afternoon now.
We go down the.
So Kepno is your destination, but I know that Dalton and the Doctor are going off as a separate thing and then meeting up with the party. Are you all going to meet in Kepno, or are you going to try and meet
Dalton.
somewhere before?
Dalton's
Dalton, Red Rider.
Yeah.
I think we should. I think we should just go to meet at Kepno. If we try to meet somewhere closer, well, first of all, you got the vehicle, so you're going to be waiting out in the open for us. By the way, are these squares?
Yeah.
So these squares don't have any cities or towns or villages or farms. It's just open area, right? Or not squares. These hexagons.
The blank hexagons, the ones that are light brown, that is open terrain. Now, that could be a farm or a tiny hamlet, but it's not going to be a village or anything bigger than that. It's nothing substantial. Also, one thing that I should stress is that this map is based on, it is a pre-war map. So there's no indication on here about what's been nuked out of existence, what's been blown up, what's been put on fire. You don't know any of that from this map.
Yeah, I think Kepno is our best bet.
So, with them, small hamlets or farms, can we go past them and see if there's an extra vehicle or something like that?
That's absolutely something you can do. It's part of travel. It's part of the sort of strategic travel movement system where you have
our way down to camp.
Pardon?
On our way down to camp,
to
Kepno.
Essentially, you have to stop in a hex and spend a shift of time, that's at least a quarter of a day, looking for stuff, and you might come across that kind of thing. You might not.
Yeah.
Or you can just drive straight through it.
Yeah. So like if you go to the next, I'm gonna click on it. If you go to the next one and start looking for vehicles or other equipment, me and the medic might be able to catch up to you on foot. But if not, then we definitely like the very last. If we all get to Kepno and somebody's missing, like if I get to Kepno and you're not there, or if you get to Kepno and I'm not there, I think it's safe to say that something horribly has gone wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I've noted that that's your objective. So, today you have been told of the disbandment of your division. You have attempted to go and rescue or go and link up with some friends, only to find out that they were under attack from suspiciously well-armed Russians. You did your best to save them. Half of them were already dead by the time you got there. 2 of the 3 remaining survivors died in the effort, but 1 escaped who would not have were it not for your actions, but still 2 died, and they died in front of you, and you have been forced to run from a superior Russian force coming from the north as you now head across this blasted land toward Kepno. What is everybody's thoughts about the day's events? What is going through your characters' minds?
I'm wondering why my ankles are killing me right now because we don't have a medic around. After getting tossed off the back of a truck.
Well, you tried to run along the truck, and I tried to help you. It didn't work out too well for us.
Basically,
Well, I mean, I just lost my grip, you know.
Yeah. Mac, what were you saying?
basically my character's now in the thinking that we're on a massive losing streak. It's
Yeah.
yeah. We're now he's actually thinking we need to find a way to actually rebuild the whatever forces we have left and fight
Okay.
from city to city.
I don't know if I'd agree that we're losing. We're not winning, but we've added 2 people to our little band, I guess.
Yeah.
And we've gotten some more equipment, so
Overall,
maybe a Pyrrhic victory?
and I guess this is a question for the GM. Overall, would we be aware that NATO in general, like in this war, is on the losing side, or is it like a stalemate, kind of like Vietnam? Or, I mean, those are the only 2 options. We're definitely not winning.
Yeah. So for a very long time, as in like over a year, what there's been sort of back and forth. You've often gotten, weirdly, the Russians have probably done the most in terms of knocking out key Western cities, chiefly in Germany, but also in Austria and so on. But they never got into France. They never got anywhere close to that. And the NATO pushbacks have been okay. The swings tend to be relatively slow. You're going back and forth over the same ground again and again and again. For about the past year and a half, it's basically been a stalemate. In the past couple of months, NATO seemed to be winning. You were about to get into Russia, and then in the past couple of weeks, there's been a turnabout, and the front is almost where it was at the very start of the war, as you've been pushed back again. But
So it's kind of like World War One along the
Yeah.
Verdun or the Somme, where it's just they finally reach a point where neither side has an advantage.
yes, that's accurate. Neither side appears to have an advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, just from
And what you don't know, taking the World War One metaphor even further, is if this was the Russian equivalent of the Ludendorff offensive. You know, its big last gamble in 1918 that
Right.
ultimately didn't work.
Right.
Or yeah.
Where the fucking got my fucking mom?
That's unfortunate, but I do think we'll be wrapping up the session here, having gone through these terrible, harrowing events, but having saved 1 or 2 people. and having a plan in mind. You've got more people than you've got vehicle space. You don't have enough room for stuff. You're going to have to work that out. But yeah, you are alive, which is more than a lot of people can say in these trying times.
Nice.
We'll wrap up session here. You will all get experience. I'll work that out quietly in the background and send it to you. There's no need to worry too much about it at this time because you're not going to get enough experience to improve anything yet, but you might at the end of next session.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Excellent. Well, I hope you all had a good time.
Oh yeah.
It was a fantastic time.
It was a good-
Excellent.
it was fun.
I'm gonna ask. By the way.
Can I go and get some more Lucky Shot?
Okay. By the way, does the medic have a handgun, or is she unarmed,
As in your medic.
or does she have an assault rifle?
Yeah, Kriebel has got. I'm just going to her sheet.
Because I was gonna ask if depending on what she has, I might need another weapon. Because you guys clearly have a bunch of weapons right now. I might need another one.
Yeah, we literally
She
got
has-
AK-34.
She has an
And
M9 pistol and a
M9.
knife.
Okay, can I get the AK-74 and you guys can have the rest?
What are you going to do
The
with your
AK
M6 with your M4?
I'm still gonna use it, but I'm gonna give her the AK-74.
Oh,
or I'll
okay.
give her the M4A1 and keep the AK-74. Although,
Well, the AK we only have one magazine of ammo for.
Yeah,
well,
literally.
I'm not. I don't. Unless you guys want to give up a handgun, I'm not taking your big guns.
I mean the PKM has what, 2 belts?
Yeah.
2 belts, yeah.
But we don't have anybody that's got heavy weapon qualification either.
Yeah.
Except for maybe this Sarah person, because she's already got a general purpose machine gun. So
Right. Yeah. So you
do we
definitely-
really need 2?
Well,
What's her ammo load for the M240?
The M240, let's have a look. Because her sheet isn't completely set up because she's just sort of set up as an NPC. But I will actually now completely do her sheet and probably give you guys control of her in between this session and the next one. But Dugout Survivors, Tolbeck. Yeah. In terms, she is on her last belt, and she's
So we
about
can't.
she's about halfway through her existing belt.
Yeah, we probably don't want to throw away the PKM. Then they probably end up changing out her M240 with the PKM because it's got at least 2 belts of ammo.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
One
she is
thing
heavy
you
gunner
are-
qualified, right?
That is, yes, she is. She is. She's got heavy weapons, and she was built as a player character. So her heavy weapons is Strength B, Heavy Weapons B, Specialism in Machine Gunner, and Specialism in Launcher Crew.
Yeah. We need to keep the PKM to give to her when the other gun runs
Yeah.
out of bullets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
One other thing that you'll be aware of, just thinking about getting rid of ammunition, is that you've dealt with the civilian populations over the past couple of weeks and months. There hasn't been enough supply and food to rely on the army logistic train. You've had to deal with civilians. Money is a thing of the past. It's a barter system now. But the closest thing to money that exists is ammunition.
Also, can you post a list of all the stuff? I'm assuming the AK-74 and the PKM aren't the only 2 weapons that we got, or are they? Or did they not?
They
have
are
any
from your
handguns?
scavenge rolls
Okay.
because you were running around in a panic.
Yeah.
Well, not a panic, but rapidly as a tank was looking at you.
Okay. Yeah, if I could just get the AK-74, even if it's only got 1 mag, it's better than a pistol and a.
Not
M4.
only that, but the Russian machine gunner got hand grenaded, so he's pretty much tomato paste anyway. There's not going to be much found there.
Yeah. All right.
Well, yep, that's that. I'm glad you had a good time, and we'll continue this with the journey to Kepno in 2 weeks' time.
Nice. That's a good episode name.
And
The
some more
Journey to
blowing up.
Kepno. Yeah. Yeah. Some more
Yeah.
almost dying.
Yeah.
Also,
All right.
this is completely up to you guys, but I think it's a cool idea. Depending on how quick you guys are with the vehicle and what you do in the villages that you come to, we could do a session where it's just me and Kriebel, and then a session where it's just you guys, and we don't know what each other did until we come together and explain it. I think that would be cool. But that depends on what you guys do, because if you guys just go for the road, then it might not happen. But if you stop and in like the first village, I might catch up to you.
Well, I mean, yeah. So to put that to the whole group, I would be unwilling to make like half a group wait 4 weeks. So
Oh,
if
yeah,
we are
fair
going to
enough.
do something along those lines, the smaller group would have to find some other slot, so we don't have to
Yeah,
push
that makes
one group
sense.
4 weeks worth of roleplay. If it can't all be done and all put together ahead of the 2-week session, I will find a way to get the whole group together. I'll make it work.
Okay, no problem.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna put the AK-74 in my gear, and then. By the way, I wasn't keeping track of ammo, so how do I figure out how much ammo I have?
Okay. Well, you never did ammo dice. You only did conventional firing, which means you were only firing one bullet at a time.
I did ammo dice the first time. But,
you did ammo dice the first time. How many ammo
Oh
dice?
wait, no,
did
that
you
was the
use? And I'll just
tutorial.
average it.
I think that was the
That was in the
no.
tutorial.
Tutorial doesn't count.
Okay,
Nothing that was
good.
used in a tutorial counts.
Because I kept forgetting.
Uh,
Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't keep explicit track of it, so I'm going to take a guesstimation and round up. You have used 6 rounds because you only used conventional fire. You didn't ever
I didn't go
use
to
ammo
burst.
dice.
Yeah.
I haven't singled the fire shot from my gun and only yeeted one grenade. And
Yeah, that was a good
probably
grenade.
the good one.
Basically, I'm the luckiest.
Yeah, you're
I'm
the
the
luckiest
luckiest.
motherfucker. How many? You shot 3
Yeah.
times and killed 2 people. I'm pretty sure. You only shot 4.
3 times.
3 bullets, and
I
you
killed
killed
2. I think I killed one person outright and wounded one, and then emptied a magazine.
Yeah, that sounds
I
about
used
right. I know
3
you
bu-
certainly emptied a magazine.
I used 3 bullets. That's all.
Okay, now you're just bragging.
Use 3 bullets, kill 2 people. That's crazy to me.
Right. With a pistol.
With a
From
pistol.
100 yards away.
Oh man, that was crazy.
It's the random re-entry led to the head.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope. I think that look, okay, sometime in the far future, as the Commodore goes around with this reputation of a legendary gun, eventually the Commodore is going to die or leave it behind or something, and some cult will form around that weapon. It will be a divine item in their church.
We can make our own
Yep.
sounds.
+2 to long-range headshots.
It shall be known as the Hand of God.
I'm still
There-
kind of
there's
wondering how
probably
a
gonna be-
German
Man,
Commodore
God.
even picked up an American 45 anyway.
That's a good question. Maybe you killed someone for it, Mac.
Oh!
No, it's not. It's not a 45 from America. It's actually a German one.
Heckler and Koch?
It's
Yeah.
a M19, 1914. I think it is.
1914.
14.
Well,
I think it-
1911's the American
Which is
version.
Yeah.
American. Because what I did for Mac, because there weren't a huge amount of like German handguns and so forth, is I said
Right.
pick one of the American ones. She's picked a 1911, and then just reskin it as an appropriate German firearm, and it's
Oh, I
fine. The
gotcha.
stats the same.
I got you. That works. I mean, it's 45's a 45's, big hunk of lead flying through the air.
Yeah, and like almost all of the assault rifles in this have got very similar stats because it doesn't go into that level of minute detail.
So,
Well, I got
I
to
do-
say, I'm a little disappointed with the sniper rifle. I did better with it in semi-automatic mode than I did in single-shot mode.
Did the main thing with sniper rifles, at least that one, is that its normal damage is the same as its crit damage, which means it becomes ridiculously powerful if you hit an unarmored area.
Yeah.
like the head.
Because then against minions, it's a one-hit kill. So if you aim for unarmored areas and you hit them, you're gonna kill them.
So no more headshots. Aim for the elbow.
Yeah, arms. Because when they're behind cover, they have to expose an arm to fire.
Right.
Is there a thing where if you put enough damage on armor, like the helmet or the flak vest, it eventually becomes useless in this game, or is it?
There is, yes.
Okay.
Because you didn't take hits, I didn't go into that mechanic, and I wasn't going to keep track of it for NPCs. But whenever any kind of armor, be it vehicle armor, personal armor, in theory even a wall, is
Hello.
penetrated,
Welcome back.
you can roll a d6, and for every one of the ones on the d6, it loses a point of its armor rating. I'm not going to keep track of that for stuff that isn't like a common recurring feature, so I'm not going to do it for NPCs. I'm not going to do it for most terrain unless you're like it's a tank and you're deliberately trying to destroy the terrain.
Right.
Or if at some point we set up a base.
Yeah, or if you set up a base. But let's say you get shot in the torso. Yes, I'll be doing that roll because that's a piece of equipment that's going to be hanging around for a while. That kind of damage is repairable with a tech roll.
I'm honestly surprised none of us got shot. Especially with that machine gun. Well, the NPC.
Yeah, I'm the only one with any injuries, and that's because
you ran.
I lost my grip.
Yeah.
You were trying to jog next to the car.
I was trying to protect my bottle of bourbon. Missed.
Hey,
It's
fun,
like the shot that would kill you, you're saved, but the bottle of bourbon shatters.
Yeah, no. Then
Yeah.
He goes.
I just
He's
put my
like-
rifle in my mouth and pull a full Gomer Pyle from Full Metal Jacket right in the bathroom.
That's wonderful and terrible.
It's the same gun. It's an M14.
Oh my word! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the
This is my
M21
gun.
sniper
There are
rifle's
many
a
other
modified
like it, but This
M14.
one is mine.
That's right.
Anyway, right. It's approaching 1 o'clock in the morning for me,
Oh, dear
so I am
God.
now going to head off and go to sleep.
Okay.
But I
Catch you later.
have
Have a good
immensely
night.
enjoyed this. I'm glad that it seems to have
Yeah,
gone
like
well.
it was really fun.
I loved it.
Yeah, well done.
Good job.
Excellent.
Have a good
Thank
night.
I want to do it again.
Yeah. See you
Oh, yeah.
in a couple weeks.
See you guys around. Ta-ta.
See ya.
That too.
Bye. I also have to go. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I better
Yeah, I
turn
know.
off the